everybody. Welcome to an evening with Hermit Style New Year's Eve edition. R.I.P. Betty White. We got a bunch of the guys here, and I'll just go over to Sublet, and he can explain what we're doing tonight.
All right, what's up? So today we decided to do a little fun video talking about the best and worst of DBS through 2021. So everybody you see here and a couple others from the team sent a list in of their best and worst choices for a bunch of different categories that we're going to go through. We're going to talk about some of the best cards, some of the worst cards. We're going to laugh at each other for our decisions, our poor decision-making skills. And so just to kind of put everything into a frame of perspective, the sets that were released this year were set 12 through 15. That's Vicious Rejuvenation, Supreme Rivalry, Cross Spirits, and Saiyan Showdown. First thing I noticed, set 11 was not released this year. Great, considering all of the set 11 decks that were winning.
Yeah, every card would have been from set 11.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
It really would have. This has not been the best year for product release. On top of those core sets, we got the Evolution Booster, we got the Special Anniversary Box, not the biggest meta shakers in the world, but still. And then we got these little special products, you know, the 2 starter decks, the 2 expansion sets to introduce Spirit Boost mechanic, the best mechanic the game's ever seen, of course, and the Toa Ultimate deck, which was mostly reprinting set of cards.
I hope that's you dripping with sarcasm because
and also the most snapped leader of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, Toa Ultimate deck was pretty good. Like the whole deck came foil, all the Dark Broly's, Power Burst, Super Kamehameha. Like the deck itself was actually pretty good for reprints. Yeah,
I got foil Topos, so I support it.
Yeah, Topos. Yeah.
It was definitely one of the better products of this year. I actually enjoyed the Evolution Booster as well for a lot of the foil reprints that we got.
Oh yeah,
yeah. The full art foils were sick. Everything else about it was mediocre, but
I don't know. There's a lot of good stuff came out of Evo Booster. It just took some time.
Oh, for
sure.
like
Heroine's Lineage, right?
Yeah. Well, no, like Android 16, all the blocker negates.
Man, 16 is the definition of a deck that got lucky.
It doesn't matter. It came out of Evo Booster. Whether it got lucky or not, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Anyways, sorry.
All right, so before we move past this, though, what do you guys think was the worst product of this year? There's a lot of stinkers here.
That stupid-ass Namekian boost that comes with 0 Namekians.
Oh, man, that still has me tilted.
Yeah, the Namekian boost was a rough choice. I'm kind of on the Darkness Reborn reboot starter. That I feel like that was a really poor product because it just never did anything, and the leader wasn't incrementally better than the original. Like there was almost no point to reboot him. The only change he got was Self Awakening, and then a poorly unmanageable Spirit Boost mechanic.
However, at the same time, I think it actually gave us the only real viable Spirit Boost that we've seen before, using the Unison, and it actually would restand your leader and do, I don't know, something.
Oh, yeah, you're talking about the Bardock? That card is crazy.
Yeah. The best Spirit Boost skills, but the worst deck to play them in. So.
Of course.
Yeah.
Spirit Boost is not a very good mechanic, but what did you expect from Namekian Boost?
No. What about Nick? What's your take?
For the worst product out of all these ones?
Mm-hmm.
No, out of the ones that aren't pictured.
Thanks. I'll go hit up a website for more information. No, obviously, like Namekian Boost did piss me off the most, but I mean, for everything that we didn't touch on yet, probably gonna be Cross Spirits was one of the worst.
Ooh, that's an interesting call.
Didn't Cross Spirits have the Sins Zeno FCR though? That card snapped. I still think that's like the most underutilized secret rare in the game.
I don't know that I agree with that at all. Cross Spirits had some good cards in it, but
there were a few good cards, but I think there's better singles Insane Showdown than Cross Spirits.
King Cold snap, bro. That's the side event winning deck.
That wasn't King Cold wasn't Cross Spirits. That was set 13.
That was Supreme Rivalry.
Oh, you're right. Cross Spirit sucks. Yep. Sorry, I'll take it back.
No, 14 and 15. Yeah.
I'll take it back. It sucks.
14 and 15 as core sets were horrible, unplayable.
Yeah.
There wasn't like a single tier deck out of either of those boxes. However, there were a lot of really, really good SRs. But I mean, I'm sure we'll get into that.
Yeah, we're gonna get into
Yeah,
it.
there are
We'll
just
get
more
into
better
it.
ass cards out of set 15 than 14, so that's why I'm just set 14.
I agree with that.
Yeah. No, that's reasonable. Yeah.
Another reason I think Darkness Reborn was a bad product is if you compare the reprinted cards in that starter to the reprinted cards in Pride of the Saiyans, there's a huge value disparity.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
Literally,
Yamcha's
the only one that you really need to mention, and it makes the most sense. Yeah.
But the Darkness Reborn, it just had like whatever the starter exclusives were, then a bunch of terrible cards and a bunch of vanillas. Like nothing in it was synergistic.
Yeah.
You're basically building your own deck and just taking the leader and whatever the 4 exclusive cards were.
Yeah.
So that's another reason I think that was a terrible product.
All right. Well, let's move on then, shall we, to the actual cards themselves. So our first categories we're going into are the best cards of each color. Everybody picked their favorite choice for the best cards of each color. There was some overlap, but we'll start with red. We see that out of everybody who's here, we had 6 people total. We got 4 different cards. So Armando, I believe you're the one who chose Violent Rays. Why did you think Violent Rays was better than any of the other cards?
Because Violent Rays is broken. The big thing is when Violent Rays was released, it was the red card that allowed red to break into the meta. So when Violent Rays came out, that was the Broly BR starter or Broly BR set.
Yeah, 11.
So yeah, the meta decks were like Sin Zeno. Sin Shenron and
wait, hold on. This is disqualified. This is disqualified.
Let him go. I wanted to point it out afterwards. Armando didn't read the instructions.
This wasn't even released this year, bro.
11 cards.
Man, I may have made a mistake.
That also got my sublets, so
that's not true. I think I'm pretty sure I did like set 13, 14, 15. Maybe I included set 12. I hope all my picks weren't from set 12 though.
No, 12 was released in February or some shit.
yeah.
It's BT
11. This is set 11.
I don't think this is BT 11.
It literally is, bro. It says it on the
right
card.
Yeah, it says it
Okay,
right
well,
there.
it was reprinted in a tournament pack, so it qualifies. Right?
No, it does not. No,
It does, because it was reprinted in like set 14 or whatever. Okay, so it's a set 14 card too. Okay, you just put the wrong artwork there.
Oh
Can
yeah,
I choose
sure.
my
Best
green
card.
pick?
Best
I
card.
want to choose my green pick.
Next.
Zeno.
Just want to let everyone know.
I
that's the
agree.
best player in
I
Canada.
agree with Armando 100%. BT11 was a great set. All right. Anyway, so Piccolo Junior. I'm guessing that was you, Chesko.
That was
because
me.
card.
This card's broken as fuck.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, obviously I'm biased because of how much I really love King Piccolo, but it's like this card is the best unison in the game. Period. There's like no contender that would match it. It's just this is like an amazing card, and like none of these cards really compare. Violent Rays, is like relatively comparable, but it wasn't released this year. These other 2 cards are like nowhere near as good as this Piccolo. So I don't know, y'all are tripping, but this is like the best unison in the game. There's like not a single one that competes.
There's one.
No, there's one that's a clear second.
There's
Majin Buu is a
3 energy.
It doesn't matter.
I'm talking about Dark Broly Unison.
Dark Broly Unison.
Dark Broly's better than Piccolo,
It's
actually.
not.
Absolutely not. Anyway, y'all are tripping.
That's
This is
not
the best
this year.
unison in the
That's
game.
not this year.
I know.
No, I'm saying in the game,
he's saying
period.
in
This
the
is
game.
literally the best unison.
Oh.
Anyway.
I mean,
yeah,
if
that's
this
it.
card were printed today, it would definitely say auto limit 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else got any more remarks on the Descendant of the King?
It's snapped.
No.
Card's good.
Great card. It's a really good card.
I think it's deck dependent, but in most decks, that's your best choice for your unison.
I think this is definitely like somewhere very close to the best red card that was released this year. It's got the best legs possible, not just in that artwork either. It'll actually, go the distance. I think to power creep this unison would be insane.
Yeah.
I agree.
Maybe they will, but that'd be crazy.
It also has Rejuvenate, which is an actual really good mechanic.
Yeah. It's
It's the
relevant.
only
It's relevant.
unison that can do it. It's
Yeah.
the only unison that can really do that Rejuvenate.
It's the only playable unison with Rejuvenate.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
true.
And it's like, granted, specifically in the King Piccolo deck, but it's very doable. Anyone who's played King Piccolo for a good bit of time has rejuvenated. Like it's insane.
You can also just tuck a Unison under it and get that rejuvenating.
Yeah, you
any
can.
deck.
Yeah.
So, all right. So then Kyle, I believe, was the one who chose switching gears, and he's not here to join us right now. So, I don't think switching gears was the best red card. What do you guys think?
No. Okay, so
It was
in the
pretty good for a while.
yeah, I guess it was good enough that it caused the deck that utilized it to get hit, but the only like problem with this card was the activate main was optional and costed no energy. So you could activate main, your opponent could counterplay it, and you could choose not to bottom deck one of the babies. And then you'd be like, sweet, you wasted your counterplay. I'll do it again. That is broken. Like there are broken things about the card, but it's I don't know. I'm of the opinion that I don't think King Vegeta was as good as like it's historically regarded as. So I wouldn't say this is the best red card.
Alrighty then. That's a hot take.
Yeah, that was a dumb thing to say. No, I'm kidding. I'm just messing with you.
I never lost. I never lost to King Vegeta.
That's
My
great.
name is
Anyway.
Armando, and I believe the FTK deck was fair. Okay,
Yeah.
so
No. I'm just messing with you, Armando. It's a great card. I think Nick put it great. The best way is like this facilitated the deck getting hit. So I mean, it's absolutely a great card. But now, not so much.
It's actually me who said that.
Oh, my bad. It was Armando who said that. My fault. Yeah.
It was
Someone
the
from
only compliment
Canada
I was going to get all night, so I was just going to take it.
That was a great point. Now it's like unplayable, right? That's all I can really say about it. Like the deck is unplayable. Doesn't make the card bad, just makes the deck, it's like irrelevant now. But yeah, it's a great card, really good card.
yeah,
Is it Vegeta's lineage? Because it could be relevant in the future. If so,
it is Vegeta's lineage. Yeah.
okay. Well, there
okay.
you go.
Okay, that's a good point.
Maybe down the line.
I might need to buy these. Where I'm gonna check TCG
Yeah,
Player
they're like
for
80 cents now. Don't say it now. Buy them. Yeah, buy them before the video drops. Next.
I do that all the time whenever we
Yeah.
make a video. Oh God. All right, so moving forward, we got Divine Presence. Nick and Jay both said this was the best red card. It's a very good card. You guys want to? Let's start with Nick, maybe. Actually, let's start with Jay. Jay hasn't said that much.
Sure. Yeah, cards just absolutely snap. Dual attack, deflect comes down, can't be stopped. It's got the ability to recycle your skills cards, and for 2 energy, especially in like King Piccolo, I think that really presented the ability for King Piccolo to kind of resurge as the best red deck in the meta, just because you're going to be comboing using the leader skill constantly. You might as well throw down another one just to make sure that you're getting that ability to play the Divine Presence, and that card it can't be sniped on your turn. It's just got a lot of utility.
Yeah, that's an interesting take. Counter question: is King Piccolo the best red deck in the meta, or the only red deck in the meta, or both?
Yes.
Technicality.
I think Broly BR and Gohan U7 are both better decks than King Piccolo.
You're wrong.
That's
But,
Oh no!
yeah, you're
no,
wrong.
Not at all. Not at all. God.
They are both red.
They're both good. They're both legitimate decks, but I don't think they're better than King Piccolo.
That's
Not
big
better.
facts.
But I think they're both serviceable.
Yo,
good
your
red
deck
decks.
has one drum. It sucks. All right,
Yeah.
like get real.
That is true.
Yeah, but U7 Gohan has 0 drums.
Oh, even more
Oh.
true.
Like
Ooh.
it
One less SCR.
Bro,
exactly.
this card is a really it's not broken, but this card has a really stupid like +3 in Yamcha decks because
Good God.
your Unison
Good God,
draws
man.
one and then bottom decks one, so you bottom deck your skillless and then you attack with this and you add that skillless back. It's
Broken.
It's nice.
Oh my god.
no, it's Yamcha sucks, but this card enables like a really silly like +2, +3. Like every turn, it's like just a huge plus in that deck. So I mean, it's pretty cool.
When you say your Unison, do you mean the
red Shenron.
the Omega Shenron? Oh my god.
No, it's a 2-drop, not the Omega. It's like a 2-drop red
Mhm.
Shenron.
Oh yeah, the red one. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still garbage.
yeah.
This is
No,
what I
well, I
said.
said it was Yamcha. It's just for it's just a fun deck I like.
I trusted the fact that someone else would choose Piccolo Junior Unison, so I picked Divine Presence as basically the
It's the
something
best
different
red
to
battle
up
card
there.
in the game.
Probably. Mono
Yeah,
red.
it's up there.
It's not bad. It's not bad. I actually kind of think that one drop Gohan is just a little bit better because it's got a wider utility. Red decks have a hard time using their energy efficiently, and a lot of the cool like this card's perfect in King Piccolo because it doesn't use its energy.
Yeah.
But if you look at other red decks,
Mhm.
kind of hard to just tap 2 for this card, even on turn 3, because a lot of your plays use some amount of energy, and you kind of limit it. Like if you look at a red deck like the one coming up, the U7 Goku, for 2 energy, I could summon 2 dudes, one of them a dual attack, one of them a double striker, instead of summoning this this Goku. So he's a very good card, but I think that his place as a top tier card is really defined by how energy efficient the red deck can be.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with that. I think that it's more geared towards mid range. If you're playing an aggro red deck, there's no place for that card in your deck. So I mean,
The only thing I'd add is it's more geared toward decks that can combo at least one card for free.
Mhm.
So like U7
that's a
Gohan,
requirement.
Piccolo, yeah,
Yep.
exactly. Because it just like I see it used a lot in King Vegeta, and I don't think it's good in King Vegeta at all because it just
No.
taxes your hand too much.
People still play King Vegeta?
Sorry,
That's the most surprising thing I've heard all
Mario
night.
Vegeta.
I meant the yeah, exactly. I have seen it in King Vegeta.
Yeah, you mean starter
I-
Vegeta?
I
Oh,
mean
Starter
starter Vegeta.
Yeah.
That
I
sounds
was
like a really bad idea.
Yeah, in my head, I was on King Vegeta because King Vegeta can combo a card for free with a new field.
Mhm.
That was one I forgot to mention in the leaders that combo for free. But
All right. Also, just a fun fact for people watching it: this card is just going up in price as time has
Mhm.
gone on. It has continued to increase. If you don't have 2 copies of this and you want to play red, might be a good idea to get those sooner rather than later. I think it just got bought out again today.
Yeah.
Shot up to like
Great card.
35 earlier. It's
No, that's awesome.
it's pretty good.
Yeah.
it should be a
definitely-
$50 card.
It's one of those SRs that was printed without an SPR, which means it's actually worth more
Yeah.
And so
because
it's
there are half as many.
Yeah.
it's one of like the
All
true
right.
good cards in BT14. Like
Yeah.
Mhm.
there's that, and that's pretty much the only real playable card out of that entire set.
Shout out to
No, it's
Trey
more-
for
it's
trying
just
to
like-
educate
Yeah.
the community on that and getting just like burned for it.
What do you do?
Yeah, for inciting buyouts because he
No, he
said
didn't
basically
incite a buyout.
he
just
said
like,
basically buy SRs that don't have SPRs.
I mean, that is
Oh,
smart.
that's smart. Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily say he incited a buyout. Like he was more just saying, like, hey guys, like if you see a $14 like
Yeah.
SR that doesn't have an SPR,
It's not
that's
bad.
not expensive.
Yeah.
No, he had a
Yeah,
really
no.
good take on that.
Yeah. And then he got burned for it, which just made me laugh. And I was like, poor dude's just helping these poor souls.
Yeah.
And then they just hate on him.
Hmm.
But I don't know. Moving past. Just shout out to him on that for actually trying to help the community on that item. But
Yeah, where's he? DM him. Get him in here. Next.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move past red cards now. The blue cards. It looks like there were not as much diversity in our blue
All of
picks
these
here.
picks are terrible, man, and one of them's mine.
One of them is your pick. The very first card is your pick because you sent me your list first, and I think it's the worst of the 3. Why did you pick Calamity Challenger, man?
Because Calamity Challenger is like the best generic blue battle card that got released, right? Because it's 1 mana and it draws you a card, and it's also a relevant attacker or blocker. It's
No.
just it's
because they
Damn.
made a mistake and they put the limit 1 spirit boost on the wrong activate main.
yeah, which is hilarious because you can chain these and get like 3 or 4 of them, but it also has more utility than that because like it's a path to infinity target. It's a 4-drop blue Saiyan, so there's some synergy with other cards there. It has a lot of it doesn't need anything other than itself, but there's a lot of cards that work well with it. So in my opinion, it's one of the best blue cards that was released. Name a better blue battle card. Blue battle cards are terrible, right? Like, what are you going to say? Android 17? Like, yeah. Any blue battle card that's better than this is broken
I mean,
and not released in 2021.
those are all good points,
Most
but
importantly.
none of that makes it better than Majin Buu, Assault of the Agents of Destruction.
Yeah. What you said is correct. It is a great card, but it's also a very middle of the road card. Like this
Yeah.
card is not winning or losing games, and like it's a great card, but this is a best list, not a great card list. And it's pretty obvious that the other 2 choices are just better. I just want to point out this is pre-errata Galactic Buster. This is not current Galactic Buster. Pre-errata G Buster, literally like
Unplayable.
It, pre-errata. It like made decks. It made blue decks.
It did.
Like we saw like if this was available for Nats, we would not have seen the blue drop off. Like blue was the second most topping deck in the meta, and then they errataed Buster, and there were no blue decks in top 16, right? And then like I don't know if there were any in top 32 even. I think there was like one or two.
There was Soul Striker.
There was 3 in top 16.
They were there. Well,
blue?
Android 16 is a blue deck.
Okay, but they're not mono
Four.
blue.
Technically got second place.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Galactic Buster, that errata was like one of the worst things they could have done because they just got rid of all the blue decks. Instead of getting rid of Soul Striker and making blue diverse, they killed everything else and made it only Soul Striker.
Okay, no, you're right. They were so I'm wrong, but I'm right about the fact that this card did make the color. Like we
did.
Yeah. You have to play Soul Striker now. There's no other viable blue deck. Not including I'm not talking about multicolor Android set. I'm talking about mono blue decks like Soul Striker or even like blue yellow Soul Striker. I know like Android 16 and 21 are like a whole different topic. You know what I mean?
Are they though?
Yeah.
All right. Well, Galactic Buster is a cool card, and then we have Majin Buu. I think everybody else chose Majin Buu. Myself included. Like, you should read this card. It does too much. It has too many cards.
Yeah.
It not gaining markers is like it is a hit to its relevance now. But
it's just balance, my dude.
Exactly. No, I agree. I'm not disagreeing with you.
Piccolo Junior unison.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And the problem is 4 energy in blue is nothing. Like, again, that's why I think Goku Calamity Challenger is good. Is because energy is basically free in blue. Mm-hmm. This is a unison that replaces itself. It's beefy. It's a relevant threat. I agree. It's like, hands down, this is the best blue unison in the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it is. What do you think, Jay?
It's a great card. Like, what else is there to say? The card, along with Galactic Buster, made blue relevant for even a short period of time.
The SPR is Artfire.
Yeah, that's true. I do like the Calamity Challenger pick, though. I think that we needed some variety. Those are fairly obvious choices to the point where I think people were calling for Buu to be banned, but Galactic Buster obviously was hit. Calamity Challenger is just generically good, like Armando said, but I think Buu is just one of the, like I said, like he said, I think it's the best blue unison, and I would contend that it's right up there with the King Piccolo unison as the best unison in the game.
And I just want to justify my Calamity Challenger one more time here. In any other color, a 1-drop 15k that drew a card is nuts. Blue, it's even better because energy is basically free. Like, you drop 2 of these in Soul Striker and swing it on tap 2, you're killing it.
Yeah,
so.
No, it's a great card. It's just not the best.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I agree that that's a card that's great. It's not the best, man. Not the best. You're not writing home about Calamity Challenger. You are about Galactic Buster and Majin Buu.
You can write me about Calamity Challenger, though.
Yeah,
I'll accept that letter.
All right, so not much diversity in blue or green, for that matter. Green is a color that did not get a lot of good cards this year.
I feel like the floodgate doesn't even count. Like every color got one of those, so that's like giving it to the homicidal clones. Like, those negates should be on all these lists, but it is relevant in that it's good in one really good specific deck. Like, it is really good in the Majin Buu deck, so I'll give it that. But yeah, I don't like the topo effect's cool. I guess green needed it. I don't know. Rosie's a good pick.
I mean, you say floodgate, but 2 of these 3 are floodgates.
Yeah. Green does not have a shortage of floodgates. Like, to be,
it's not.
Yeah.
So I have a fun fact about my pick. When I picked that Majin Buu Kibito Kai, I actually meant the counter Majin Buu, which I don't know if that's even qualifies as a 2021 release.
It was.
It's not a Kibito Kai.
It's the Janemba absorbed, the one that the
That's the one it should have been, because that counter is extremely relevant in green decks, and I think like all the winning green decks were running it. But the Majin Buus, I would put them equally as good. Like, they're secret rares. They honestly shouldn't even be on the list, but green got a lot of bad cards. So
Yeah, I didn't pick any secret rares because it's easy to pick secret rares. Obviously, this is a great card. It is a secret rare. It's supposed to be a great card. I've lost games to this card before. I mean, it's a great card. I've won games with it. It's very solid all around. But it's a secret rare, so it's supposed to be that good.
I don't own the card, so I've never played it.
Yeah.
I think Rosie's the best green card.
Yeah, Rosie's fucking broken. This bitch is crazy.
Yeah, Rosie probably is the
when
best card.
when she was first released, a lot of people were like, "Yo, this card's ass," and I was like, "Y'all are dumb as shit." I bought a playset for. I think I pre-ordered a playset for like $80, which was not good because I definitely overpaid for my Rosies. But I mean, I've gotten pretty good usage out of them. I really can't complain that much. Yeah, she just does so fucking much. She's literally a win con. If she's not a win con, she's a tempo card. She's a unison killer. Like, in terms of like having the right amount of text on a card, this card has the right amount. Like, deflect, discard 2, triple attack. Those are 3 broken fucking sentences, to put on a card.
I've played her and not even. I've played her and not even attacked. She's just a really good safe play.
Right.
She's so good. Like you said, she's like a very well designed card, which is like sadly rare to say in the game. But she's very well designed.
For whatever reason, I thought Rosie was from set 11, and I was very wrong. In retrospect, that would also be my pick. Like they said, green just didn't get a lot.
Yeah.
Did not. It got a lot of worst card nominations.
It got like King Colt's a good archetype, but outside of the archetype, those cards are just not playable. Like there's nothing that's like generically good for green that's not archetype locked.
Yeah.
Even in its own archetype, they're not impressive.
Yeah.
They're very middle of the road.
The deck had 3 sets of mediocre cards, like mediocre archetype after mediocre. Like green never got better, and everyone was like Goku and Vegeta. This is the set where green is gonna be good. It's iconic characters. They're gonna. Oh no,
you knew them shits were gonna be bad, bro.
Nah, me and Nick were clinging to hope. Like if we were investors, man, on Dragon Ball archetypes, we would have bet it all on green and friggin' been broke.
There's no way, bro. They don't make like Saiyan soccer cards just aren't that good.
For the record, I was like, they're tricking me into thinking that this is gonna be they finally make green cards. I'm like, just how they were hyping it up, how they did everything. I was like, maybe, but my heart knew.
Y'all might need to talk me off the ledge because I'm going through that right now with Champa and Beerus.
They flash the green.
They're gonna be bad. Yeah. They're gonna be bad.
They're gonna be bad. Hold on to hope.
Yeah.
So
Green
much
Vegeta had all that text, and you're like, damn, he's gotta be good.
Yeah.
Nope.
You know, Champa and Beerus. Here's the thing, bro. Champa and Beerus are an alternate win condition deck. They're automatically gonna be bad. You just know that they're gonna be bad.
They're either too good or too bad. There's never a middle of the road with these alternate win conditions. Like Victory Strike Cat Blow, too good. Dr. Wheelo, too bad.
Yeah.
So why does green keep getting alternate win conditions? They have the original Victory Strike, they have Dr. Wheelo, and now they have the Champa and Beerus stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is just the child they don't love. They're just like.
Doesn't the Goku deck is an alternate win condition deck too, isn't it?
Yeah, there's one that makes you give your opponent 4 battle cards and attacks, and it gets quad strike. I would argue that's an alternate win condition deck.
Yeah.
And even Cell, I would say Cell is an alternate win condition deck because your win condition is to get your opponent to 0 cards in hand.
Yeah,
I think yeah.
Yeah. All right, so let's get off of green because I mean Bandai gave up on it a long time ago. We might as well too. So now we'll move on to the best yellow cards. Can you guess which one's Armando's pick, guys? Can you just...
God, Armando. I think at this point he's just trying to be what's the word? Contrary. He's trying to be contrarian.
Trying to be what?
Contrarian.
Can you spell that, Giancarlo?
No, shut up.
I know you can't. Okay, so I'm gonna justify it and it's gonna blow your mind. Oceana Shenron is what caused the big shift in like the Sin Shenron deck to being a tier 1 aggro deck, right? And I would argue even a tier 1 control deck.
There's the 8-drop.
Yeah, it was
like,
fucking.
No,
It was.
but-
It was.
the chicken.
it was
this
literally-
is
You guys are whack.
Sorry.
This card gets you the consistency you need to win
It's a
the
great
game.
card.
It gets you the burst cards. It turned a middle of the road deck into a complete and utter broken toolbox deck. That card, anytime my opponent plays that, and I'm playing against Sin Shenron and they do like the burst skill, I'm like, damn, here we go. He's not going to burst Cell Zeno. He's going to top find and find some broken ass card to play against me. And every time it happens, because it's like such a good dig
Whoa.
in a deck that, yeah, I was saying,
We all have
you
our
know
own
what? I've been
preferences.
dicked by this card, man. Even when they tap 6 and play it, you're like, damn, this is a good card. And then they warp it and it gets the blocker rest a card, KO a card. Like, that card alone is what made Sin Shenron a good deck.
Dude,
Okay.
you and I play different games of Dragon Ball. I cannot remember the last time a Sin Shenron player tapped 6 for their leader's effect.
Okay,
on me.
okay. It is not that you're wrong in this. This is a great card. You're wrong in the
Yes.
sense that Sin Shenron got 3 sets worth of support. 3 sets worth of support. That's what made Sin Shenron good. Because
This card lets you find any card.
it's a
3
great
sets.
card.
Got it.
It's a great card. But like it all in the same pack that this came out, you got the Chicken Ball, which was the most important piece of the aggro deck because you dealt 2 to 3 critical damage to your opponent, which was like the outside of drawing Cell, that was your win con. You know, this is a great card, bro. I'm not even saying like you're wrong that it's not a great card. It's just it got the 8-drop in that pack. We got the Chicken Ball. You got like
Nova.
Nova. Yeah. Oh my goodness, Nova. You know, it's like. Yeah, great card. Great card.
You're running Oceana set 4 every time because it gives you the utility to find all those pieces that you need. Number 1. Number 2.
That doesn't make it the best card.
Yeah, I'm getting number 2 is why I'm going to say it's the
Number
best
2.
card. So the reason it's the best card is this made 3 sets of support relevant. So this card actually boosted 3 entire sets of yellow cards.
Can you tell me?
And I know Jay's got my back on this one.
Here.
I'll defer to
And
Jay.
Oh, you think so? Hold on.
Super Saiyan.
So Armando, what are you adding off of this? You add the 8-drop, right? You add the chicken or the chicken ball. Probably the chicken ball. You add Nova Shenron. You add another copy of herself.
Haze, which is broken.
Did you know that those 4 cards came out in the same set?
So
You get Haze sometimes, but it's not your first choice.
Bro,
you
Haze
can't
sucks. It doesn't even win you the game. Your opponent
You're
just asks.
correct.
No, listen.
Yeah,
When you
your opponent,
hold on. When your opponent,
people have shotgun and lost.
hold on. When you activate Haze, your opponent scoops up their shit, and then they're like, "You want to go first or second?" Like,
but yeah, okay.
Follow you forever.
Realistically, the answer is Power Super Saiyan. Realistically, but like
which one of these cards is getting banned? Fucking Oceanus or Power? It's Power, dog. Which one of these cards is getting banned? It's Power.
Would you guys rather have just had Power on the slide and us be like, "Yep, good card"?
No, you
next?
can pick whatever you want, bro. We told you to follow your heart, and you are following it, which is fine.
I pick Riposte, but I think Oceanus is actually a fine pick because it did make the deck relevant. The 8-drop obviously in tandem with it, but
You actually need POSS to make Riposte relevant, which is why it's a better card.
And I also think you need Oceanus to make that 8-drop relevant. So picking the 8-drop, I think, would also be wrong in this instance because without the controllability that Oceanus provides, clearing some of those smaller battle cards, resting something, putting down a Poutine, something as simple as that makes that card infinitely more valuable. So I think it's just got a lot of utility, and it did really make the Sin Shenron deck significantly more consistent. And I think, tier 1, tier 1.5, however you want to classify it, I think it really did make that deck relevant.
Yep.
All right, yeah, Power of Super Saiyan is the best yellow card. That's why it's in the middle. It's the king.
Don't disagree.
It's going to get banned. These words sample, they're going to be replaced with banned.
Yeah, very much so.
And then
I just got SPRs, so I hope not.
It's a mistake, man. Why would you buy SPRs of this card now? What is wrong with you, man?
It's a good time. It was the right time. It's the right
Remember
time.
the King Vegeta? Remember King Vegeta? Was that the right time?
I promise you that POSS doesn't get banned.
Oh,
I
God.
promise you.
You know what? You might be
I think it
right.
gets a limit
Bandai has
ones.
made decisions before.
You probably will be right.
Yeah. And then I think a close second to Power of a Super Saiyan, you've got Robotic Repose, Steadfast Alliance, and probably below those two is Turles. Yellow got so many good cards this year, especially at the latter part of it, that it really became a color that could definitely probably win Worlds, right, guys?
Yeah.
If
Most likely.
Turles wasn't restricted to yellow Saiyan leaders only, yeah, I would say that that's the best yellow card. But because it has the restriction,
good.
Yeah, because it has the restriction, it's not the best yellow card POS is.
Can you imagine that card in like Sin?
Do you imagine it in the stupid Golden Frieza deck?
Yeah,
That's
that's where I was thinking. You'd like freaking play it on play it, pop one thing, draw a card, pop one of your freezes, untap 2, draw 1. Like, yeah, it's just it's way too good. Like 2 energy is not enough for a card that has removal, double strike, and replaces itself.
Bandai's also going to have to really watch the ongoing archetypes that they print, because if they print yellow sand leaders, like that card has got so much good text on it that it very well could end up on the ban list. I would say 6 months from now, depending on what they print. But I think Turles, if it weren't for the sand lock on it, it'd probably be right up there alongside.
It does also have a pretty fair energy restriction. Like, I think you need 3 energy, so you can't slam it on turn 2. So I think Turles is a fair card, even if there's good yellow Saiyan support in the future.
Yep.
I think Turles is very nicely balanced. I think Repose is not. Yep. Repose should not cost 1 energy and have no additional cost to lock your opponent for a turn. You just watch people like turn 2, 3, 4, and 5. The Repose comes down. It's really obnoxious.
Yeah.
But literally every other floodgate has a discard text. So like you just
except this one.
Think about like Oceana, Topo, Green Buu, the new pan that's not even out yet. I'm sure I'm forgetting some, but like they all say discard 1. This motherfucker plays itself. He also has like a third effect, which doesn't ever come up, but he was clearly intended to be better than he is now. Like the third effect, like Bandai was like, oh, okay, it negates the attack and floodgates. That's not good enough. Let's give it a third effect.
Yeah, so the next turn you tap 2 and play the mecha that lets you look into your opponent's hand.
Or the one that pops 2.
It's nuts that combo's not good enough in yellow, which is nuts.
Yeah, it is nuts.
I did that once just for memes at locals, and they blindly God sealed it.
Wow.
So I will say about mecha, one thing that's like broken and balanced about Riposte is like I think it's the hardest floodgate to push through, because like if I have a big hand and I'm going to win the game if I keep attacking, I'm going to dump cards to punch through Topo, right?
Yeah.
Like you can't take the Mecha Frieza challenge. You just don't have enough swings when you have to rest something, unless you're playing like a jank deck or a rogue deck. Then sure, congrats. But
yeah.
Well, on top of that, if you've got cards in your board that have barrier, you can't even choose those. Yeah. So like, even if you do have a board, there's further restrictions.
Yep. Yeah.
I never even noticed that. What?
Oh yeah, that was always relevant. Like King Piccolo, you can't tap your own drums. Like that was always relevant.
Oh wow! I didn't.
I've gotten King Cold with that.
Yeah.
You just do 2 in a turn. They're like, I'm gonna do my 6-drop field. I'm like, nah, it has barrier.
Yeah.
Wow, that's dumb. This card's dumb. All right, so yellow, great. The best yellow everything. Wow, except yellow Turles, the leader. That was a mistake. Anyway, so the best black card released in 2021. Again, we know which one is Armando's choice because it's the worst of the 4. But in this case, it's actually an extremely good card, and I think it needs to be
you're cracked if you think that's the worst card of the 4, man. That's the best card of the 4.
Yeah.
It directly counters, like, I would much rather put TFS in 90% of my decks than Oceana Shenron.
I think it's definitely the first of these 4 that's going to get banned.
Yeah, it works the best on its own, whereas like Gogeta requires an entire package. Whereas
you got to play 4 TFS.
We were playing, but like we were playing TFS on release at either 3 or 4 copies in Dark Broly in Vegex, and this was like before thwarting even came out. So like on its own, it's the best. It just doesn't have a high enough ceiling. Like it has the same energy cost as thwarting, and thwarting's ceiling is just way higher. Oceanus is an amazing defensive card, but like black isn't a defensive color. I don't care if you play Hatchet, good for you, but it's like black isn't a color that attacks. So like having a really good defensive card isn't extremely relevant.
Man, I always thought the
then-
J in Hatchet was silent.
And then and then
Guys,
Pan.
it's not Santa Claus. Come on.
Pan is a secret rare, so Pan is the best choice. I just didn't want to pick secret rares. So like I just think thwarting, not include like Pan is a secret rare, has the highest ceiling. Not including Pan, thwarting has like the highest ceiling of any black card that came out this year. Because it's a fucking 1-drop 25k double strike removal every fucking turn. Like card's insane.
There's no restrictions. You can play it
I've
too.
ran decks with True Fighting Spirit that didn't have SS3 in it though.
Yeah,
like,
I literally just said that.
I think. Yeah, I know, and I'm just confirming it, man.
Yeah.
I'm supporting you.
My bad.
I'm always on your side, man.
Yeah, that's not true.
We're like this. That's you. That's me.
Yeah, Italians gotta stick together.
I don't know. I think that True Fighting Spirit has too many words, and that's why he's going to get banned.
Yep.
But I think if you look at the best card as the thing that wins you the game, it's either Thwarting or Oceanus, because Oceanus wins you the game by stopping things. Chesko, you're right. Black is not a very defensive color. Luckily for everybody, Oceanus doesn't have to be played in a black deck. We've seen Soul Striker jamming this thing.
That's a great point, actually. That's a good point.
Yeah, it's this is actually just a floodgate for everybody.
Yeah.
Interesting, and you hardly ever see people push through Oceanus, which I think is interesting too, because it's the most push throughable floodgate.
Yeah.
It's the actually floodgate.
You'd be surprised, bro. Like there were so many games. Obviously, I'm playing Icarus. There were so many games where like my opponent would Oceanus me, and I'd be like, if I attack one time, I lose the fucking game. Like you'd be surprised like how low your deck count got sometimes, and it's like the Oceanus might as well have just been a baby hatch. Like shit is crazy. Like, and it's a blocker too. So it's like if you can't guarantee the rest with like a Poutine or a Goku, like you're milling 8 cards to get one attack through. Maybe like this. It is Oceanus is an amazing card. Yeah, that is very true.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and the floodgate is all on the counter window, not on the play window. So even if they stop her play, well, if they stop her play, the thing doesn't work. But
yeah,
like,
exactly.
Yeah, but it's
all even if they bloodlust her, she still gets the
correct. Yeah, that's what.
Yeah.
That's where you were going with it. I got you.
That's where I was trying to go with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's why I think it's her and Thwarting. Those are the ones that are winning the game. Pan is the best black card that's been released, of course, but she's also like the best secret rare.
I think SS3 is like, with your comment that it's the best card that can go in any deck, then I would agree it's Oceanus. Because, like, what did Black Green Videl do? Nothing. You know what I mean? No other deck that played SS3 was relevant outside of Gogeta Zeno, which also plays for True Fighting Spirit and is uniquely positioned.
There were the
three.
There's
Dark Broly. It was
the three Black Saiyan decks that were the bad. Like the 3 Black Saiyan decks were the thwarting decks. Every other deck that plays thwarting is relatively mediocre. Like you have
but Dark Broly didn't matter because it was all the leader, right? Like
I don't know.
Yeah. Thwarting didn't get hit. The Dark Broly leader got hit. The Dark Broly leader. It was thwarting didn't matter to Dark Broly. It mattered to Gogeta Zeno, which drew a card off the Union Fusion.
That's because that's the worst deck out of the 3.
It really is. Yeah, it's the only of 3 that didn't get hit.
It's the only deck. It's the only deck that top mats though.
Because the other 2 are dead. That's All right.
They're dead, man. They're dead. They're very dead.
Anyway,
Jay,
I don't know.
Nick, what do you guys think?
You guys kind of summed it up, to be honest. I picked Oceanus. I think that the card's just if it's well timed, well placed, if the player is half-assed decent, it's going to be just as good as like a Ready to Rumble.
No, it's because it's a Shenron, man. That's why you picked it.
That too. That is my thing. No, I think like it's just. It really changed the way that Hatchiak is able to play and can become a mill deck. So I think it made Hatchiak relevant. I think Sinzino could really benefit and actually be prosperous because of this card specifically. So, I mean, there's just a lot of utility. Mill decks like Cooler Mill, shout out to Trey, probably going to run a few copies of it just because it's got a lot of opportunity to kind of extend that mill as well. So
Yeah, funny you say that, right? In our testing for Nats, I tested a Mill Icarus for probably 2 days, and it was like,
Jesus.
man, Oceanus is so fucking good. Like Mill Icarus, probably like a tier 2 deck. Like it was really funny.
New time rules. Everybody's testing out Oceanus now.
Yeah.
See how it goes. All
Yeah.
right. Nick, you got anything to add? You are the one who top 16 with Gogeta Xeno, after all. What do you think?
I do find it funny there was just as much, if not more, passion about these cards as opposed to yellow. When yellow's more of a problem.
Those are the things I'm hoping get hit personally on this ban list are black and yellow cards. So,
I mean, I can see arguments for True Fighting Spirit getting hit. The card is absolutely snapped. Thwarting, I think the card's fine. It's only really, it's a good play turns 1 and 2. 3, it's okay.
Mhm.
But after that, it's not a very valuable.
Thwarting's a fine card. I agree.
Yeah.
It's
There's
perfectly
nothing
fine.
wrong with it.
People who
It
think
needs an errata leader lock. It's a little
That's the only change I would. Yeah, the only change I would make to thwarting is Black Saiyan only. Like that's the only. Or you could even do black, not Black Saiyan only, but Black Saiyan. So like Vegex could still Saiyan Earthling could still play it. That's like the only errata I would actually make to it because it's like I know it's not relevant, but it just makes sense. Like I agree that errata is not relevant. I agree with you. It's just stupid that it doesn't have it.
It's future proofing, yeah.
Yeah,
and
it limits design. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
And like the Goku, they're already printing a replacement for him in the next set. I'm just saying, his days look numbered. It looks really bad for him.
That card basically tells Blue to screw off. Like between both True Fighting Spirits, like Blue just almost can't exist competitively. So
yeah,
I get the arguments for those. A 1-drop deflect and that has something that's just going to give you value every single turn. Like that's pretty snapped.
And the Self-Awaken too, which is just
it's too much. It does too much. Yeah.
It does too much.
All right, so that's the main colors. Then we move on.
I want to take that back. That card's fine. Actually, I hope it doesn't get touched.
No, let's actually stand it. All right. The best multicolor cards. There are 5 options here. They're all pretty good. Turles Dominance in hand is definitely an
underrated gem.
Interesting choice.
It's a bad pick. Yeah,
I love
not an underrated gem.
I love that card, bro.
So good.
It's not my pick. I do love the card.
I think the card's really good too. Yeah. I think if you don't have a place that buy
it being
that
Nick's pick explains a lot.
Bro, green yellow.
It's a hell of a lot better than a Piccolo Schemer.
Green yellow Icarus is like a real deck, and like if they make us stray away from mono yellow, like green yellow Icarus is gonna be a real deck.
Yeah,
green yellow's a bad color combination. Though.
It's not.
Like,
have you read? Literally read this card. It already got it. Literally just read this card, bro. You're insane.
That's insane. Nick, defend your choice.
I need to? Holy Jesus.
No,
have you read this card? It's
I own 4 of them.
It's
okay.
Dude,
it's mid.
If
Absolutely
there's anything
not.
that makes yellow snapped is when it can KO.
Mm-hmm.
And this does it on both turns. And it's a blocker. And it replaces itself. It's a good card.
Yep. Bro, and you don't even need to arrival it. You can literally play it for 1 energy if you have 2 Crusher Cores. So like if you play one of this Yeah, I know. Well, no, but if you play one of this and one of the other yellow Turles, then you don't even need to arrival edition. I've done it before. Like I have literally done that play before. You don't even need to arrival it. This card is crazy, bro.
Yeah, you spend 3 energy and 3 cards in hand to KO something. That sounds broken.
You KO 3 cards and draw 3 cards for 3 energy, and you get 3 big bodies. You are insane. Shut up.
And 16k power is actually super relevant.
It is because it always blocks leader. It always blocks leader positively. You're fucking just so bad at this game, Armando. I love you, buddy.
Play that card and I'll clap you.
I will be. I'm gonna beat the shit out of you tonight. I can't wait, bro.
This is what the chat is always filled with for those of you watching. It's Chesco and Armando just saying they're going to beat each other. Mostly it's Armando saying, I will clap you with X bad deck, and Chesco saying, bring it on. And then it doesn't happen.
It's because I don't need a broken Turles to carry me. I got skill, but anyways.
Oh, now it's broken?
By your definitions. Okay, next turn. Which one did I pick? I don't remember.
You picked Kefla.
Yeah, Kefla Snap. That's a good pick.
She's great.
Kefla is Snap, but she's not as good as Zamasu. Zamasu's definitely my pick.
I mean,
Pre-errata.
unerrated, yeah.
Pre-errata,
Pre-errata, yeah. That's the best card. It was the best card in the game, period.
Yeah.
Well, that's the point. Yeah, it doesn't. We don't have to look at the exact text on it now. It's just a whole year. This card defined the way we played the game
For
while it existed
2 to
in
3
this,
months. Yeah.
This was the only card that made Cell Zeno a bad, or Cell hand control a bad deck.
Yeah.
Cell Surge.
Cell Surge.
Yeah, he's Surge, sorry. But yeah, that was the only card where it's like, oh shit, I tapped 3 for Broly and now I lose because he bounced it.
Yeah. Yeah, and then they lose like an insane amount of synergy because the deck is like just much worse without Broly on board. I picked 16 just to be cute. Shout out to Jared who got second at Nats. This was like just a cute little pig. No, it's Zamasu. Like there's the pre-errata Zamasu. There's no argument. Like it changed Dragon Ball for what 2 months. Like it was out for 2 to 3 months. Dragon Ball was not the same game for those 2 to 3 months.
Yep.
Like Goku Black a lot though. That's a really cool card. I love that card in the future. Like I love the card, but I don't think it's good enough compared to the rest of the list. Except I don't think Android 16 is that great. It's cool for the future. Like get them if you don't have them, because being able to combo and make your opponent discard is nuts. But
yeah. Jay, were you the one who picked Goku Black?
Yeah.
Good pick.
I think if the Zamasu were pre-errata, it would obviously be that, but I think that card is just super good, and I think that's a lot of the reason people wanted to play Blue Yellow Soul Striker, just because that card brought a lot of value. 4 blockers, 20k double strike, like just a generically good card.
Just sucks if someone does secret ID. You're like,
yeah. The problem is like at Nats everyone was prepared for this card.
Yeah.
Because if they at Gen Con, this card dominated.
Yes,
because nobody was prepared for it.
This was like the probably the 3rd or 4th best card at Gen Con, because like people were still on fighting against Fate, and then like once Nats had like exactly what you said. Once Nats happened, like everyone was on secret ID. So like but to be honest, like specifically in Soul Striker, right? This card basically cost 1 energy and then attacks for 25k, because like you're just going to combo one of the tokens. If you suspect your opponent is on secret ID, you just combo one of the tokens. It's like, it's 1 energy, 25k double strike, which is like a thwarting, right? Which is like pretty nice. I mean, overall, great card. It's much better in a format that's not prepared for it.
Yeah. A lot of decks you don't even swing with it though, because it's too scary. Like you just leave them on. But yeah, I agree with you for the most part.
We also cannot ignore the fact that it has the Goku Black tag. That is very important because Bandai just continues to release support.
Saiyan and God.
Black.
Yep.
And so what we've got coming out in this next set is a Wish Leader, Zamasu and Goku Black. So again, we're going to have fusions and we're going to have synergies and we're going to have restrictions that say you can't play anything but Goku Black, and then it makes this card terrible because then you can't play the tokens. But still, the tag itself it gives this card some additional value that really isn't realized at this moment, but the full potential of this card is not there yet, you know?
He's even good in the priest deck because he's a multicolor, so he has like the energy exhaust ignore, and he's a god, so you can play it. Like he's just a really good card that has a lot of synergistic traits. So I agree with you.
Yeah,
I think this card will show more value the longer the game goes on, because it's a better Bunny, and a Bunny was a good card for a long time.
Yeah, one of the coolest things that I was like wanting people to play, but I barely saw it, was like in the actual set 10 Zamasu deck, you can play this, and then the next turn you can evolve onto it with the guy that snipes energy. It's like if your opponent has 5 energy, snipe 2 of them, and like I thought that was really cool. I didn't really see it that much because like obviously like I get that deck wasn't that good. I just thought it was really cool that like the deck used this card like that well.
I think you didn't see it played much because the Zeno just ramping a multicolor. Like, if you don't hit a Zamasu that ignores energy exhaust, you're just having a bad time at that point. And granted, you get to pop it, but it kind of takes some of the...
It does,
some of the ability to stretch plays. Right.
It was hype being able to great priest it back to your hand, too. And so, like, I had a brief stint where I played a lot of Zamasu. I wasn't good with the deck, so I put it down.
Oh, we know.
But
Well, we know.
Yeah.
When I beat you, I was like, "Damn, he's not good with his deck." And then
You should have heard. If y'all want, if you
Because
go,
he was playing the
No,
Great
don't watch
Priest.
it. I play. I don't want to relive John Carlo ridiculing every decision I made.
go to this channel, the Hermit Style channel. Look at the tournament stream. It was like round 2 or 3, Armando versus Jay, and I was just roasting him the whole. I was commentating with Jimmy. I was just roasting him the whole time, bro.
Literally, there's a point where I'm like, well, I have 2 energy. I might as well spend it. And then I play the card, and then I watched it and heard Giancarlo being like, why is he spending his energy? He doesn't need to spend it. He can just pass with the card in his hand. I was like, yeah, this ain't the deck for me.
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right, well, that concludes the best cards of each color. Now we go into the worst ones. These will probably be a little bit funnier. I actually like some of Armando's picks for the worst ones.
I'm wounded.
So Armando's pick, I'll just read this. This card's fantastic to read. Son Goku, Hope of the Saiyans, 1 mana 5k. We all know, not even 5k, 500. When this card is played, switch it to rest mode. Just, so good. Such a good card. Obviously, it's meant to be played in the King Vegeta deck, but why in the world would you ever play this god awful card?
So it's funny, the Goku that like you bottom deck him to play is actually a really good card.
Yeah.
It's the 3 mana one that it's like a dual attack blocker.
Yeah.
But the problem with this 1-drop is you play it, you play it, the Goku rests itself, then it's the beginning of your opponent's turn and he untaps the Goku anyway, and it's a 0+5k. So you just gave your opponent a free card to combo with because Bandai doesn't know how to design cards.
Wait, what? This happens before the charge phase?
Yeah. It happens before the untap.
That is,
it's at the start.
Oh my goodness, that's so
it's
funny.
terrible. It's unplayable.
That is hilarious. I didn't know it was like that. Yeah,
Neither
hilarious.
did whoever printed the card.
Neither did Bandai.
Yeah.
Oh man, a great
I'm gonna
card. Do we have
change my pick. That's clearly the worst card.
Yeah,
the
no,
rest
I
of
mean,
the
this
list
is
we
a
can
great
ignore.
one. These are just like funny picks, you know. Like
Yeah, they are. We have Exchange of Power. This card would have been really playable if the ruling on the Broly leader wasn't the way it is. But
It went from good to terrible.
Activate main battle, choose 1. So for 2 energy, you either get to neg 15 something and draw a card, or your opponent's unison loses 15. So rip a marker off your opponent's unison.
Shout out to Pac-Man special effect, but yeah.
Is this worth 2 energy in a red deck?
Nope.
No, it is not.
Yeah.
Is it worth a hard 2 red at that? This is 2 red specified cost. No.
If it had an activate battle 0+5k skill, maybe. But even then, it would be tough to include. But yeah, it's almost unplayable.
Yeah,
I
chose this because I pulled so goddamn many of this SPR.
I have 2 foils.
I pulled so many. I think I pulled like 5. I like out of all the product. I don't even remember what pack this came out of. Whatever launch pack was. Was that 13?
12. So 12.
12.
It's set 12. Yeah, it's set 12.
Okay, 12. Yeah, whatever. So like,
I got 5 too.
I pulled so fucking many of this dumbass card. Like I think I pulled 5. That's why I picked it, because it's like I could have just gotten a Piccolo Junior SPR, like a King Piccolo SPR. It's just so many better cards I could have pulled, and I pulled just these one after another.
Yeah, I don't even know what this card does. Dude.
I don't either.
I have a playset of it, and I have no idea what this card does. I see that it has a once per turn. When your opponent activates a counter skill, deal 1 damage. That seems amazing. This card must be absolute garbage to not have that skill be good on a 3-drop.
If it had barrier and deflect, yeah, it'd be great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was good enough for an SPR, guys.
Yeah.
Just remember that.
No, I only picked it because I'm salty about how many I pulled. That's the only reason I picked it.
We have difference of status. I have never seen this card in my life.
That card's good.
SR. It's an SR. Let's see what we got here. We got a counterattack, Spirit Boost X. Best keyword in the game is on this card. I don't see how it's the worst. If your leader card is mono red, choose up to 1 of your opponent's cards, and it gets minus 5k power for the turn. If you removed a marker from 1 of your red unisons using this skill, it gets an additional minus 5 for each marker you removed. So, I could take my Piccolo Junior unison. And if it has 3 markers on it, I could take all 3 of those markers off and give something minus 20. And so, on a counter attack, not even activate battle, mind you, a counter attack, my unison dies. But but I can stop their 20k from killing my unison.
On Nick's advice, I bought like 8 of these. Just letting you all
A
know.
bad decision.
So,
got played.
because I read it and I'm like, damn, that's pretty good. Like you can clear 2 5Ks with it for 1 marker, or you just clear 1 for free. And then I found out you can't use Spirit Boost unless you have a unison in play. So even though it's X and you can choose 0, you need a unison in play to be able to choose 0. So I was like, damn, this card's just a way worse Wolffang Fist.
Yeah,
And now I own now I own far too many of them.
I own 2.
That's hilarious.
Extraordinarily worse Wolfgang Fist. You know, for 0 mana with a unison on your board, you could just -15 something, ignoring burial? Crazy.
To be fair, though, if your opponent plays Demigra Unison and you have this card in your hand, you're like, hell yeah. He's about to lose 2 markers.
Oh, wow.
Broken.
And
that card's in demand, so.
Yeah, according to certain people, Demigra Unison is broken.
Empower's broken.
Empower key. I actually think the Empower
I think
keyword is a
Empower
very
could be
good
broken.
keyword.
No, Empower's the worst keyword skill since Spirit Boost, but we'll
That's
table that.
definitely that is
Like,
definitely
Better than
incorrect.
Spirit Boost.
What the world?
Well-
Empower means that when you play a new unison, all the work you put in on the other unison gets transferred. Like
If
at least
you
some of the work. I think
if you have a unison with like fucking 6 markers on the board, and then you can spend the energy to play a new one and transfer the 6 markers over. Congrats! Like I'm a bad player.
I don't think you've tested enough with that keyword. I don't.
I'm
That's a bad take.
not heavily
take.
impressed with Empower. I don't think it's bad, but I'm not like.
It's better than Spirit Boost. They are not
Well,
comparable at all.
I agree. Well, if you take what Armando said literally, this is the new keyword after Spirit Boost, so it is literally the one
Worst
after it.
instance. Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you, Giancarlo.
I think Empower is going to be good for blue with the baby golden or the baby. What's the unison? I don't remember the baby 3-drop. Yeah, the Parasite.
No,
That
because
and the
there's
King
not going to be a
Piccolo.
blue unison you play outside of friggin' Majin Buu, which doesn't have Empower. So
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, so far we haven't seen anything. So perhaps, probably, I would say probably. But if there were a good unison printed in the future with Empower, especially in red or blue, I think that those not only did the Piccolo Junior and the baby become infinitely more valuable, but it could see a little bit more play than Spirit Boost, which only really sees
disagree.
play in like Xeno.
Because the -5 is so much more valuable than transferring 5 markers.
I would agree, but more Piccolo Junior than anything else is what I would say.
All right, but look at it this way: you guys are missing the whole point of the Empower, and so the main card to look at when you think about why Empower is such a strong keyword is the stupid U7 one, the Frieza 17. It is a 2 mana, draw a card, -15 a card, 20k triple attacker. Empower gives certain unisons, the unisons that with it, the ability to use a giant minus skill without having to invest that energy into it. That's what's
over
so
one
strong.
turn. Yeah.
Right. That's what's so strong. Now I can turn my Piccolo Junior unison into a threat. And that's huge. The only way you stop me from doing that is by killing that unison, which means I can just play a new one if I need to.
But
so what this introduces is an entirely new kind of win condition for cheap energy that requires investment. This is balance at its peak, because you're saying now to your opponent, you know my deck. You know my win condition is cheap as long as I have an established unison. You have no choice to focus on my unison and kill it. Now, that might seem, like an obvious thing if you're playing a mid-range deck or a control deck, but this punishes aggro decks for just going at your face. Because you have now gone at my face, ignoring my unison, and you have lost the game because you did that. It adds an entire new dimension, an entire new layer to the game, and it's that's what gives it this power, this empower, if you will. It gives it this
Nice.
such a stronger. It's so much stronger than Spirit Boost, because Spirit Boost is literally dealing a damage to a unison for the most subpar effects I've ever read on cards, like swap 3. Why am I dealing a damage to my Unison to swap 3?
And you have to bottom deck a card from your hand. Anyway,
Exactly.
this is not even
Exactly.
about this. Let's just move on. This will be a
No,
different
I have-
topic.
I have a
Armando's
good relevant
wrong.
point.
Armando is wrong.
I have a good relevant.
Of
follow-up
course,
to this.
Armando is wrong. That's
Every take I've had has been the best take in this channel. But
I'm happy that you think
So-
that.
Yeah.
I've been working on Pilaf a lot,
What are those
Okay.
alligators? Hey,
and
Armando,
I will
look
say,
around. You see
hold on, hold on.
crocodiles? You're living in denial.
Yeah,
the
he's
empower
just
skill in Pilaf. You're gonna hear it here first, so you're welcome for smelling this. If you want to play Pilaf, which is a bad deck, okay, you can spend 2 on the Vegeta Unison.
Oh,
Okay,
what fucking even are we talking about?
you can swing. There's a 2
These
cost.
are the
Vegeta,
rails. That's where we are.
There's a 2 cost Vegeta Unison that gains a marker when it attacks. Okay, so you play your free guy, you overwhelm, and then you play whatever the friggin' Piccolo or whatever. You get 3 battle cards on board. It's easy to do in Pilaf. So you sacrifice them with your leader, give the Vegeta triple attack. So Vegeta gains a marker every time it swings, and it minuses something every time it swings. So now your Vegeta has 5 markers for 2 mana. Okay, this is a really good scenario where you get to awaken, you get to untap your 2, and then you empower, and then get a triple attack on top of the triple attack you already had. So that's a situation where I'm like, damn, I might try out this empower Unison. The problem is it's in a bad deck. But I think Pilaf with the Vegeta and empower mechanic is a really good combination.
I think that Pilaf is not the point to take away from this, but I do believe it's the point we should end the discussion on and move forward.
You heard it here first. Pilaf broke.
Yeah, we're just going
All right.
past Vegeta.
SSB full power Vegeta. I think that card's really good.
Yeah, I don't know why it's on the worst list either.
I think Kyle picked this card. I'm not sure what his reasoning was.
Probably because he swung into somebody for game with 1
And they
life,
lineaged
and
it.
they have lineage.
I won 2 games with that, man, by lineaging this guy.
That's tough.
This card is obnoxious because in King Vegeta, if you stick this against Invoker, I can't play my Rival Seeker ever without taking a damage. This card is BS. I hate this card, but it's definitely not the worst card. All right, so are we good to move past red?
Oh yeah.
All right. Let's look at the worst blue cards on here. This is the Galactic Buster, by the way, everybody. That is after the errata.
Post
They-
errata.
They killed it. Tapion Sword, I think, is one of the worst cards I've ever read. This is Armando's pick, and I have to agree with you, man. If you have a blue Unison card with a specified cost of 3 in play, you get to activate this card's Activate Battle for free. Neat. Activate Battle, Limit 1, freaking Spirit Boost 1. Again, we talked about how good that keyword is. If your leader is a mono blue Trunks Youth card, draw a card, and give one of your leaders or your Unisons plus 10k for the battle.
It's only playable in the deck not a single soul has ever played.
Exactly. It's not even that good, because again, this just rips a marker off your Unison, which, if you use the right Unison, does trigger its Spirit Boost ability, but I think that's if it's your turn only, right? Like,
And the
I'm pretty
Spirit,
sure
boost,
Tapion-
the Spirit Boost ability on Tapion's terrible.
it's your turn only. Yeah. So yeah, card's terrible. Nick, do you want to explain why you think the Coming Calamity is the worst card?
The art.
Yeah.
The art. What are you talking? What's wrong with the art? This what is it? Is this character's name Bukaki? I can't remember what his name is. But he looks so happy right here. That's a happy face. He's having a good time. His hands, I don't know what they're doing right now, but
He's reaching for something.
something is coming for him on him. It's definitely an interesting card. I don't know why it's a desire.
Yeah, I didn't read the card at all. I just chose it for the art.
Oh, I don't know what it does. It's hilarious.
The art
plays
is
a
insane,
3-drop Tapion or a Rudigarm from your deck, I think. It's bad.
He knew we were putting a
Flyers,
slideshow together and wanted to make sure that was
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
That's
he
just
wanted to get the
bad.
visuals on.
Yeah, the art is insane.
It's broken.
The art, the name is even. Oh, it's fantastic. I think honestly that's the best blue card released in 2021.
Yeah.
Who chose the Majin Buu Unison? Was that Kyle again, or?
Probably.
Actually
Do
played
we,
that
do we
card
disagree or
next.
agree?
Yeah, I disagree. I think Majin Buu Unison.
Yeah.
Then yeah, Kyle definitely picked it, not me.
I've played that. I've
That's
played that
terrible.
in Red Blue Hit, and like it's decent.
Yeah.
That is not a bad
I
card.
picked Buster because of how salty I am. I mean, I freaking love
Yeah,
I love
dude.
Galactic Buster. Like, it was such a good card, and like that was like that will forever be one of the worst decisions Bandai made in terms of a ban list, which we're gonna get to later. But
Mhm.
that, like leaving Fu and 17 in the format, but then like Errata and Galactic Buster, and especially like when you read their logic was to diversify blue when it did the literally exact opposite. Like I was just so salty about that. Like that's why I picked Buster. Obviously, even in the it's nowhere near as bad as the other cards. It's just like the reasoning why it's errata is so bad.
That errata killed one of the best formats we've had too.
Yeah,
The most skill-intensive format we've had in a long time.
yeah.
All right, Jay, what does Godspeed even do? I don't know what this card does, man.
I don't know. I didn't pick that. That must have been Kyle. I picked the Boo Unison.
Oh, you picked the Boo Unison. Okay.
Yeah, I went with more of the like playable bad cards. So I don't think it's like a terrible card, but none of my picks have been particularly just like the one drop Son Goku from King Vegeta. Mine are more like
Yeah, of course.
fringe playable cards that were underwhelming when actually used. That's really my reason why. It's not a terrible Unison. It's just not. I don't know. It's just not
Pretty
Majin Buu. The
Yeah.
4-drop.
If its thing was +1 instead of plus
I think
minus
that
0,
yeah.
that would.
It might be pretty good then. Yeah.
Yep, I would agree.
Yeah, that would have been really good.
Yeah.
The fact that it can't gain any markers really, like, you read this card and then you read the Majin Buu, it costs 4, and you're like, I know what's going in my deck.
Yeah.
I've done the -2 to remove a barrier card, though. Like, honestly, like I said, I think this card's pretty decent. Like, as far as blue Unisons go, there's worse.
I mean,
I've had my Vegeta inspired technique put back in my hand with that effect before. It's a sad time for sure.
No, like if you're a casual that doesn't want to spend money on SRs that are above $10, like that's pretty good.
I would agree.
That's for our Canadian audience. That's what he.
Yeah.
We have a
What do we? That's wild. If so, hi Canada.
Shout out to Canada.
And good night, Canada.
America's
They're watching
hat.
on their igloos.
Yeah, Godspeed Demolisher is, I think, my reasoning for putting this on here. I didn't put it on here, but it would be that it's a very, very poor replacement for the Gogeta.
Yeah.
It's like leader lock, isn't
what
it?
it deserves.
I don't know that it's leader locked. It's like you have to
It's
at the
Mono
end.
blue.
It's like at the end of your opponent's turn, they shuffle down to 4 or some shit. So it's just like
3.
it just never works. Like that. That's why. And it's like the whole archetype was designed around getting it out, and then it just doesn't do that. And the whole archetype is garbage. So like overall, it's a horrible card.
I think this one cheats it out the TP, but I only got this because Giancarlo told me to buy it like months ago.
That's a great card.
No, it is a great card. I definitely picked. I remember picking up a playset thinking this card is one way to cheat it out away from being a good card.
Yeah.
But it just needs barrier. I don't know. You can't ever expect that auto to go off.
Yeah.
It's not going to live in. And if it lives an entire turn against your opponent, you didn't need it to win.
They'll just combo
It's already over.
What's even
Yeah.
worse is they'll just combo their hand down to 4, and it's like, all right, cool.
Down to 3, yeah.
3 or 4, whatever it is. Like they'll just push damage on you. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, boys. I think green is next.
Hell boy.
So let's see what we've got here. We've got Nappa the Shocker. I mean, Intimidator. Critical 15. If your leader card is a Vegeta or Nappa, those are always the best leader cards. When this card is played from your hand, your opponent chooses one card in their hand and discards it. My God, compare this to Rosie for 1 additional energy. Whew, good pick, Armando.
So this one actually reminded me. I'm like, man, I just remembered I put specific reasonings in my message to Sublet for why I picked each card.
You did.
But the reason I chose this one is that it doesn't work in the leaders he's meant for. Like, it's not good in Vegeta and it's not good in Nappa. You're never going to spend 2 energy on this when you can play Piccolo Alliance in Nappa. And it doesn't work in Raditz, who's like clearly the leader that it's designed for.
All decks have a guy that special summons this from deck, which doesn't trigger its effect.
Exactly. It just doesn't like it. That's a poorly designed card that could have been really good easily.
Mm-hmm. Kaioken, was that you, Nick?
Yeah.
I pulled that
Yeah.
today, that SPR.
Oof.
Why do you think this is the worst green card?
I mean, I think it just epitomizes exactly what Green suffered through this whole year, which is you can read half the card and it almost sounds like it could be decent, and then you read the end of it and it's just like, oh yeah, and then you lose the card at the end of the turn. Oh yeah, and it gets worse.
Yeah.
You're gonna lose 10k power on your leader card for the whole next turn. Like it's just like, God, and you spent so much energy to get it out. Like, why?
Yeah, it cost 3 energy too. And it's not even that good.
That's not even including the setup to get there. It's not like you're getting a free 2 cost.
Yeah.
Or is it a 2
Yeah.
cost.
Yeah, it's. Oof. Yeah, no, you're right. It's just like this card epitomizes the disappointment that we felt from Green in the last set.
Yeah,
Ugh.
definitely. We're all Vegeta on that card.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, let
Commemorative.
me explain
Go
why.
ahead,
Let me
Jessica.
explain why I picked C photo. Obviously, it's a meme. It's a really funny card. This card, in some hypothetical future, allows players to cheat. Okay, let's say at just in a what if future, green is like an extremely playable color because you only need 1 green energy to play this. Everybody side decks 1 commemorative photo. Okay, because here's how this works, right? It's the last round of a tournament. Okay, we need to draw. Okay, whoever wins game 1, it doesn't matter. At the very, very end of game 2, I just photo you. You scoop all your life up, and then we enter sideboarding as the clock strikes 0, and we're forced to draw. Okay, so like this card is a funny meme, but like it just allows people to cheat draws, which is like really stupid. I think Bandai overlooked that. And it's like, okay, so like you just like intentional drawing is illegal. So, but playing commemorative photo is not illegal. So like I can just ID whenever I want. Granted, green has to be a very playable color for that to work. So that that'll never actually happen. But like if green was ever like a tier 1 deck, then like we could just ID as much as we wanted. It's crazy.
That's the worst reasoning I've ever heard.
No, bro. It's literally it
It
would
makes sense, though.
it would 1000%
The
happen.
fact that you think
Self-destruct
that
button in Yu-Gi-Oh got the same treatment.
Yeah.
If I'm playing a tier
16
1 green deck, like if
Yeah.
I'm playing a tier 1 green deck, why am I ever going to ID unless it's against someone who I want to
Because
ID against?
because I'm gonna go
And if
to a
it's someone
tournament.
who I want to ID against, I'm going to ID against them regardless.
Okay, but then I've literally seen people get DQ'd for IDing, and this just makes you not be able to get DQ'd for IDing.
You know what ticks me off the most about this card is that
Dude,
this is set 15. Green needed good cards in set 15, and Bandai printed a meme
Yeah.
in the color that needed the most help. That expression on Hercule's face. That's Bandai. That's
Yeah.
Bandai standing on the corpse of Green
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
just ah!
You know,
But anyway,
who-
that's why I picked ID. Whatever. I mean, that's why I picked commemorative photo. Whatever. Fuck y'all.
Who chose Despair? Was that
Me.
you, Jay?
Yep.
Yeah.
Just another borderline playable card that just underwhelms and isn't really played in its own archetype. It's really the reasoning behind it. I think the 5-drop that's pictured must have been Kyle's pick.
I think that was
Yeah,
Kyle.
Yeah,
that card is
Yeah,
legitimately
that card's
good.
so
Yeah,
good.
I
It's
hard
so good.
disagree
I
with
don't
that. Nick made
Yeah.
me rage
Yeah.
quit a game by playing that against me.
I think Kyle just picked like all 5 drops that are like I don't know.
he looked at what cards
so we
cost
could
5
get-
energy and just loaded them in.
Yeah.
I wish we could get his input on why he chose these cards.
Yeah. No, this card is
Maybe,
legitimately good though.
Maybe his
Yeah.
reasoning was that it was so hyped. Like this was hyped as the most broken green card, and then it didn't do anything on release.
Yeah.
But like the reality is that card's really, really broken. Like
Yeah.
if your
It's
opponent plays that on you, it feels so bad. Like I had literally a board full of cards with barrier that couldn't be KO'd and cards that couldn't be KO'd. And Nick tapped 5. He's like, negate all their skills, place them in the drop. I was like, I hate you.
The problem is it's green.
get rid of your unison.
Yeah, it snipes your unison. That card's broke.
Oh, yeah,
It's just
drop
in
2.
an unplayable color. I mean, that's really the only reason.
It's the only thing that holds it back. That card is so good. It's just probably dirt cheap too. I honestly think that if you don't have
Pick
it,
up 2, yeah.
At least
That
two.
was in my side deck for Cell Surge for Nats when I was gonna take Cell Surge because it's so good.
Yep. It's very good. It's
Bo
extremely
used
good.
it in Worlds, and it won him a game.
Nice.
I mean, it's definitely got its tech spots. It's just sucks that it's green.
Yep.
I would not go off cards Poe used though, because he had a lot of
No,
wild
he
cards
was-
in his deck.
That man, he's a bad
That
man,
man
but I
went
love
to
it.
have fun, and he had fun.
Yeah, he crushed it, man. He
He did.
memed his way into Worlds. It's hilarious. Like,
Not even that.
He memed his way through
actually-
Worlds.
he
Drew,
could've-
yeah, exactly.
If they wouldn't have had a full week for people to prepare for him, he probably actually would have had a shot at winning.
Yeah.
I would
All
agree.
right, so
All right.
moving past green, we have the worst yellow cards. Opening the Gates of Heck is a pretty great card. There's counterplay, Spirit Boost 1, so good. Choose all battle cards and unison cards being played with 3 or few markers, switch it to rest mode, then draw 1 card. You are Spirit Boost wanting to draw 1 card when Steadfast exists now.
Dude,
Steadfast.
giant ball.
Giant
Imagine.
ball, yeah.
Yeah,
Giant Ball, yeah.
Giant ball, but you have to Spirit Boost for it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But this gets around Barrier and Giant Ball doesn't.
Great. Literally, even Crusher Ball is better than this because it's not a
Yeah,
spirit
I know.
boost.
It's true.
The fact
Dude,
that
that
y'all use
2-drop
counterplay-
Belmont that rests anything is better than this. Because at least you get a relevant body with it.
Yeah.
Playing a vanilla is better than this, guys. The card's
Yeah.
pretty bad.
Yeah.
Dr. Mayu, who chose this one?
I think I might have. And
Okay,
it's probably just another example of essentially just all the new yellow archetypes that have come out for anything relevant to androids of just
Mm.
pure trash. Like, here, let me do 5 steps to just replace my hand cycle.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
card's really bad. I agree. And the thing, if it was an auto draw 1 when it's played, it wouldn't be that bad because at least it gives you like a recurring effect you can plus off of.
Hmm.
But it's clearly meant to be played in like the yellow android decks. And they only cheat out yellow androids, and he's not even an android. He's a friggin' machine
Also
mutant.
that.
So yeah, you have to play a non-synergistic card to get his effect. It's so bad. It's a good
But-
good picnic.
Yeah, realistically, it's almost like a green card for yellow. It's just like anything that doesn't support like the real archetypes, it just shows us how bad they are. And I mean, you can see Super 17 on the far right as well.
yeah.
Further proves the point.
All right, Chesko, why the fudge cakes did you choose Sleepy
Pick
Baby Dragon?
Sleepy Dragon, bro. The original card art is better. This is the
It's not.
this is the
it's not.
inferior version, which makes it
You're
the
wrong.
worst yellow card, bro.
No, the art is
wrong.
cuter on this. so
The
you're wrong.
original card art is better. That's why. I
No,
picked
it's
it.
not
Sleepy
true.
Baby Dragon.
You're brave for the
You're
take, but you're
wrong.
wrong.
Categorically
Oh.
untrue. I have a
Yeah.
foil original right here, and the full art of the Sleepy one looks better.
Nope.
Yeah,
I
it's agreeing with Armando right now. That's how wrong you are.
I have
Chesko.
play sets of both of them. I'm just
Whoa.
saying, like.
Okay,
it's,
even if it's bad, even if you're like, oh, it's not, the art is better on the original.
yeah.
This allows
It's
you to
not.
run. This allow.
I
agree
did
with
run.
yourself,
I did run
but
5.
this
at
allows you to run
Nationals.
5. Yeah, exactly.
I did run
so it's
5.
good.
I run
So
one of this. The unfair. Look, it's just a meme. Anyway, yeah. It's
bad
the
take. I got you.
the,
You couldn't think of a card.
yeah. Pretty much, yeah.
Yellow was too good.
Uh,
All right, so I chose this one, the Cacao, Power of the Tree. Let me just read this card to you in all of its glory. It's a 2-mana 15k. Your leader card is a yellow Turles Crusher Core card, which is the best deck that exists right now. At the end of the battle in which this card was used in a combo from your life, play it. And then you flip one card in your life face up. Okay, cool. Great. Fantastic. Activate main. Choose one Tree of Might, which is your unison. In your unison area, and you place this card under it. Add a marker to it. Oh my god, that's so bad.
Broken.
Look at
And
symbol.
only
Read
playable in the decks
symbol.
where your unison's free and it has a million markers naturally.
Oh
But
my god, not just that, but like read symbol. Symbol draws you a card and doesn't get itself off the board to do this. What is wrong with this card? Bandai, the fudge
No.
cakes.
It's
The
broken because you can swing with it first and then tuck it under.
Ah, you know, you can swing with symbol
ultimate
too.
value. Ultimate value. I will say though, the most jarring bit for me is that they made it too specific yellow.
Dude.
in a deck that was meant to be green yellow. That is funny.
Exactly.
Didn't King Piccolo come out this year?
Yeah. KP, yeah.
In the same year, they printed King Piccolo and Yellow Turles.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're similar. Just Turles, you have to neg cards from hand to play things for free.
Oh god.
And nothing draws.
Oh man. I don't even know what this Super 17 does. I've never seen this card before.
Nothing.
I think Kyle literally just picked like a bunch of shit boss monsters. It looks
Yeah,
like.
I think, which is like a fair point. Now that I see the theme of him picking boss monsters that aren't good, I kind of agree with him in terms of being like, why did they print these exorbitant boss monsters that are never going to get played?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this has Deflect, Triple Strike, and Evolve for 2 energy. That sounds like it should be good, but
But you need 4 to play it.
yeah, I see that.
Bad.
There's 3 cards under this card in their owner's drop area. Switch this card and one of your Super 17 leader cards to active mode. Then choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode and place it under this card. This card gets +1, plus 1,000 power for the turn for each energy cost in the battle cards placed under it. This is so weird. This card seems like it should be good. The archetype itself must be absolute trash for this card to be completely unplayable.
Very bad. It's good in its archetype. It's terrible. The archetype is just unplayable. Like somebody played it against me one time in a regional, and like you did so much to do absolutely nothing.
Thanks for the
buy. You got to buy? Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So you got to buy in that regional? That's nice. It's real nice.
Yeah.
You're just like token negate.
Yeah, it was like
Shit.
it was pointless. Like, oh, that's a cool card, and you lose.
Honestly, the fact he restands the leader is pretty good though. Like when you were reading that text, I was like, when you were reading that text, I was like, damn, this is pretty good.
It seems like a great card, and it is not, apparently. Because, again, I've never seen this stupid thing.
I think the 5-drop takes like 2 or 3 energy total to get out, and then like there's another 2 energy. So it's just like you're literally like tapping out every single turn to like try and get this out.
I think the 3-drop is. I think the 3-drop, because you have to go 3, 5, 8. I think the 3-drop has barrier and the 5-drop doesn't additionally.
Yeah, the 5-drop has no protection.
Yeah, so you're never going to play this card.
Yeah,
that's fair. All right, so moving on from yellow, we have the worst black cards. Was it Nick or Armando? Which one of you chose Demon God Gravy? You want to go through the story of that one?
Yeah, this is a good one. Demon God Gravy, it's a terrible card, number one. But so the reason it was good was because it can get cheated out by the the Mechikabra reinforcements card. But the problem is it can't get cheated out by that card. So this card was only ever played in a deck where it was literally like improperly played. So that was the only deck list I've ever seen this in, or decks that couldn't actually run the card.
I think this card's hilarious because it's got like a thong with a target on it.
And I do also enjoy that Gravy got hilarious. Like he's like an old man wizard, and he's like an old man wizard in the old card art, and he just gets cartoonishly jacked. That's his demon god power up. Is he just gets ripped?
Oh man, and then Nick, you chose the Prism Bringer. Is that right?
The really bad super combo? Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. This is a god awful card. I think this is the worst card printed this year, honestly. You read it, it's just trash. It's limit 1. You never want to see that on a super combo. Jesus. We don't even need to read this card. It's that bad. I refuse to.
The best is that even the archetype it's printed for is also bad.
Oh, we'll get to that.
We absolutely will.
Oh. And then Chesko, you chose an entire archetype for this, and we just picked alphabetically the first Gohanks.
Yeah, this whole shit sucked. I'm not gonna lie, like I know what it does. Like this entire archetype was just garbage, so I just picked this one.
It's waiting to be good.
It's not waiting for shit. It's waiting for 20 new cards.
No, this is what we talked about when we were talking about like the Trunks engine. And I was like, here's these crappy cards, and they're real bad.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like with the right support, like because 1 mana to like draw a card or whatever.
I don't know
whatever it does.
I don't know what it does. Yeah,
it's basically a worse Kai TP that you pay energy for.
Awesome. And that sounds horrible. But anyway,
and I know you have to play bad cards.
It was like the whole archetype is just really bad. Yeah.
Yep.
And then we have Jay's pick, the ultimate thought sling bullet. Why
do you pick this? What?
Just not good.
Yeah, I agree.
It's so situational, and even then, it's just not like in most black decks, I would never play it, especially in its own archetype. I just don't. think
Oh, this is not okay.
this is not. Yeah, this isn't the Minus Energy Powerball. That thing is
Okay.
crap.
I was so confused. Yeah, go on. My bad.
It's the bad version of that. It's the one that hits unisons.
Okay. All right.
Is this the one? I'm not going to read it because it looks like that's entirely.
There's a lot of text to say it does nothing.
But is that the one that gives your opponent like 3 choices and none of them really do anything?
Yes.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah.
It seems like it'd be good because it's a counterplay for unisons, but it's just not playable. It's not good enough.
Honestly, anything that lets your opponent choose is kind of bad.
Yeah.
And then Kyle picked Playtime's Over. I feel like he's just picking archetype cards. Maybe he was saying that the whole archetype was bad. I'm not sure, but...
Is that the Catapesla archetype one?
Yeah,
I would assume so.
It gets back any black 1-drop, negating its skill for the turn. So, like, it was meant for Catapesla because then you can evolve. You can get back your Catapesla and then tap 2 and then evolve. Like, that's what it was meant to do, but it just didn't do that.
It was meant for Dark Broly because their skills can't.
Yeah, people talked about that, but then no one did it.
It's bad because it's awful.
Yeah.
Like, you'd rather just power burst and get the card to your hand.
Yeah.
So Kyle and I had this guy at our locals who would just slam Catapesla into anything and everything.
Yeah.
And I can almost guarantee that's his rationale behind it because he would play it and he would body all these other bad players. And then when he ran into somebody good, he would just get murked.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and say Kyle's right on this one and say that card is bad.
I know.
I like how you just swaddled your local guy. So if he watches, he's gonna be like, damn.
Hey, Mark, you suck.
You know what? That is a great segue. Throttling random people is a great segue for what we're about to go into now. So let's move on to the worst multicolor cards. We're going to start with Chesko's pick. Chesko, would you like to explain the worst multicolor card?
It's the whole this whole deck is garbage. Like,
I forgot about that.
This whole shit is ass, bro. Like, every single one of these cards is bad. They do a bunch of stupid shit. This whole archetype is garbage. And like, I don't even understand how someone was able to win a regional with this fucking deck. It makes no goddamn sense to me.
I mean, cheating. Like, I'm not.
I don't know.
I'm not gonna say that, but
yeah.
One of Topo is wild.
I don't know. This shit just.
One of Demigro, wild.
Yeah, it just makes it. It's just very whatever, right? I don't know. This whole shit is just garbage. And I've had so many arguments with random people about how bad this deck is, and like so many fucking people just keep telling me how wrong I am. And then so many people just never does anything. The one time it did, like, was such a weird fluke. It makes no sense to me.
Credit to the ratios in this list, though, because that is probably the correct ratio of the multicolor. Like, I agree with you, the multicolor cards are ass, but if I'm going to run this deck, that's probably the ratio I run the multicolor SS4s.
This deck just looks horrible. Like, everything about it just looks bad. It's whatever.
The foils look great, man. Have you seen them?
Awesome. Okay, yeah. Well, every card art in Dragon Ball is good. Like, regardless of how good cards are, the art is just always great. Okay.
Vegetas have bad art.
We did just go to the cum card. I mean, that was fucking not good art. But like,
have you seen the
cum card? Yeah.
Coming card.
But it's like so many bad cards have amazing art, and you're just like, man, I wish this was playable.
Like Slam Dunk Bardock?
Yeah.
In my deck, because I'm like, man, him dunking Chilled is a hilarious card. Like,
yeah.
Oh man, and then we've got all these other multicolor cards that are not all that spectacular. I think the Vegeta's okay, but Armando, you brought up a great point. You want to say what it was?
So I actually really like this SPR. I think the art's really good
Gorgeous.
on it. Yeah, exactly. And I think the effect's really good. I would go as far as to say that's probably the best red-green checkland right now. But the problem is it's like the best checkland in the worst color combination with the worst leaders to support it. So, like, if you open it turn 1 and your opponent goes first, they charge and don't draw, it's broken because you can charge a red-green and active turn 1. Outside of that very specific scenario, you will almost never get the checkland skill off on this. That's why it's the most multicolor card.
That's fair. Is Son Gohan and Krillin buying time? I had never seen this card before, and oh my god, is it terrible. Nick, I think this was your choice, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, let's read this card. Just so good. We have a 2-mana 10k, energy exhaust, revive, blue green. Keep that in mind. Revive. That's the skill that when it's KO'd, you can discard a blue green card and replay it. Okay, from your drop area. Not your hand, from your drop area. Auto. Place 1 card from your life into your drop area. When this card is played from your hand, choose 1. Already, we got some problems. We got a few problems here, but I'm sure these effects are great to crit yourself. Let's see. Choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards and bottom deck it. Okay, all right. Maybe the second option. Maybe that's got to be where the money is, right? If your leader card is a green Sun Goku, oh no. Play up to 1 battle card with revive and an energy cost of 3 or less from your deck with its skills negated for the turn. Then shuffle your deck. This card is trash. Why does this have revive? You don't even get to trigger its skill if it gets revived. Why is it crit a life? Why? Why did they print this card?
Cards like this are why revive isn't a relevant mechanic.
Like you read this and then you read BoJack.
Yeah.
Why doesn't this have blocker? What? Why? This card disgusts me.
Like,
so
this could have deflect and
made.
barrier and it still wouldn't save it.
I would never counterplay this card. My opponent's about to crit a life. Yes, do it. There's nothing you can play from your deck that I care about.
Not only that, the card he plays has its skills negated.
Yeah.
So it's like
deflect.
it's not even like you can play that Goku, the Gohan Piccolo that makes your opponent drop a card when it attacks, and it's like a barrier 16k. Like that's a good card, but if you play it with its skills negated, it's trash.
That like I think
barrier,
it's actually the only like legal target.
I also it's not good. This card angers me. Just reading it angers me. Then Jay has to like go for the gut punch here and choose an invoker card. Why,
Gonna
man?
get worse, man. It's basically just a love letter to you.
No, yeah, that's the best card on this list, and it's not close.
It is. Yeah.
Like it's not close. That card's actually really playable.
Card is super playable.
I think it is
now.
actually it is playable. I don't know. There's just I don't think there was a lot. Like I said, I'm trying to pick fringe playable cards at start that.
So the one thing I'll agree with you on that's bad about it is there was no red-blue Namekians to support this card. Because that would have been sweet. If there was like a red-blue Namekian archetype you could play and just shove into King Piccolo with this card, that would be dope.
I think they also printed it after Cat Blow was limited. And if the archetype, or like...
No.
Wasn't it? Or was it just shortly before?
Okay,
it was a good bit before, yeah.
Spoiler alert!
Yeah,
it was in 2020.
This is DB6, which yeah.
Yeah,
I left it here because it hurts my soul. This was in the draft box. This was actually in 2020. It's not viable for this list.
Oh, damn.
Illegal card. Wow, what an
Listen here, pal.
Off the team.
I had to leave yours here too because I left Armando's in.
That's fair. I'm glad I didn't go hard on like, hey Armando, way to read the instructions. Because
hey, at least my card got reprinted in 2021, so you're on your own, bud.
Damn.
And we have Trio de Dangers. This was Kyle's pick. I like this card, but I agree that it's just not very good. I mean, at all.
Underwhelming.
Great pick.
It's underwhelming. Yeah, it reads great, and then it plays terribly. It's a shame.
I think the best example though is this would be a great card to use on the Buu unison, and then you read it and then realize it's just going to get bottom decked.
It doesn't matter.
I love though that all of us picked different multicolor combinations.
Yeah,
nice. Esco picked black multi, and then we got everything except green, yellow, and what's the other color combination? Red, green. No, red, green.
Red, yellow.
Red, yellow. You can't pick red, yellow. That didn't get support.
It's because red, yellow has so many good cards. The minute they print more, it's like, oh shit, this is a relevant color combination. But
no, they actually printed the red, yellow Beerus, which actually isn't. terrible.
That was almost on my list for best multicolor card because I think that red yellow Beerus is a really, really solid card. It's just there's no good way to get it out because all the red yellow cards cost synergy to combo with.
Yep.
All right, so we're finally done with the best and worst color cards of each color. So now we're going on to the best leader released in 2021. This could have encompassed any part of it, pre-erratas, pre-bans, just from January 1st to today. The best leaders, and as you can see, everybody except the people who play the black decks picked Mecha Frieza. So, yeah, I personally think that Mecha Frieza is the best leader from released in 2021. My God, did you read it? It got banned. Stop printing Mecha Frieza. Stop it, Bandai. Don't reboot it again. But what do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, it was the only one that was banned, so that kind of defaults it as being the best in my opinion.
does.
Gogeta leader is honestly just not even that good of a leader.
So,
It's
counter
crazy.
argument-
It's
counter
crazy that
argument-
you would pick it at
Ba-
all.
Weird.
The back half of 2021, you couldn't play Mecha Frieza in tournaments, okay? So
what?
half of the year, it wasn't playable.
So
right?
what?
But this is not the best leader. That might be, you might call that the best deck, but the leader? This leader is so whatever.
Yeah, I'm going to pick the leader that I could actually take to Nats if I'm going to pick the best leader in 2021. And, like, I topped with that Gogeta in every format. It was a really good deck. It was a well-designed deck, and it was a strong deck. Like, to me, that deck filled the void of Dark Broly getting banned very, very well.
Yeah, that's all it did though. Like you would never, if
Yeah.
Vegex and Dark Broly were legal in like their most
Yeah, Dark
powerful
Broly would be the
form,
best deck. Yeah, absolutely.
there would literally like be no reason to play this leader. And so like,
Mhm.
look,
Yeah.
I always say GX
Yeah, name
sucks.
a better leader released in 2021 than Gogeta Zeno, other than Mecha Frieza.
Mecha
You
Frieza. Why would I name
can't-
it?
Gogeta
King,
just made
Zeno,
our
other than
literally-
Mecha Frieza.
literally King Piccolo is better, bro. Get the
King
fuck.
No, that's
yeah.
not true. I will clap you with Gogeta Zeno.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't. That's a bad matchup. It doesn't matter.
We have gone full
Clap
circle.
you.
We have returned to the clapping.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Hermit Style chat.
calamity.
I don't say it that often.
You say it every fucking day. Armando posts the worst
He said it
garbage.
twice.
Armando will literally sit there and post absolute garbage and then be like, I'll clap you with this. And then just proceed to lose every time we've ever fucking played. It's crazy.
Man, that's false news. But in
Literally
any event,
100% of the time you lose. It's insane to me.
I think
Yeah, that's
Gogeta.
right.
I think Gogeta Zeno is a very good, very well balanced leader, and I think it was the most consistent leader in 2021, which, in my opinion, made it the best. I do agree, though, that Mecha Frieza had to get banned because it was the strongest leader in the game.
Stupid.
Yeah, I don't know. Mecha got banned.
Yeah.
That's why it's the best leader. Like that's Armando. You bring up
Yeah,
good
you're right.
points.
You're right. Let's just pick one card every time, so there's no discussion. And
Yeah,
it could have just been a slideshow and Sublet reading the cards. You're right. That would have made for a better show.
Wow,
that would have made for a better show.
Armando.
Sorry, you're right.
Okay.
Let's go.
Sorry,
Where would
Kind
the
of boring
clapping
to
come
pick
in?
stuff that's already been banned.
What'd you say, bro?
I'd
I said, where would the clapping come in if not for Armando
I
picking?
guess so.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, the best leader released in 2021 was Mecha Frieza. The best cards released in 2021. So for this list, we actually allowed leaders to be involved. In the other list, we were ignoring leaders and only picking the cards themselves. So the best card released. Yeah, these all look pretty goddamn spectacular. I think Zamasu is the winner though.
Yeah.
Personally, just my personal pick is Zamasu.
Yeah, I think that's what I picked
But,
too.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Pan's
Rabbit,
the only
yeah.
one you have to have in this list. If you want to be a competitive player, Pan's the only one you have to have.
yeah, that's
Girl,
a
one of
good
them's
point.
banned,
but-
one of them's eroded, and one of them's about to be banned. Of course, Pan's the only one you can
Yeah.
have.
Yeah. I mean, the
Look
thing
at
is
the
though,
list here.
like Pan, like again, is a great card. It's a secret rare. Like it's hard to argue against secret rares, but like Pan didn't warp the entire game. Zamasu did.
Every top 16 list ran Pan. Like, are you cracked?
I understand that, but Pan didn't warp the way. It didn't change
Not all of
any
them.
of the top decks.
Not all of them. Yeah,
It
Baby
changed
Hat.
all the top decks because they all ran.
No. By
Well,
change, I mean it didn't
it was
change
16.
which, like Icarus and Gogeta Xenu and Soul Striker and Cell Surge were all the 4 best decks, right? Pan released, those were still all the 4 best decks. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
It changed them. Like, yeah, the decks just played Pan, but it didn't change which decks were tier 1. It's almost impossible to argue in secret rares. Like, I can't argue that Zamasu's a better card than Pan, but Pan's a secret rare. Like, in terms of like regular cards that you can play 4 of, Zamasu literally warped the entire game to the point where there was like borderline one deck that was playable in a format. Like, that's how good Zamasu was. It was a tier. The only reason Icarus didn't like absolutely dominate is because people just didn't play it. Like, Dragon Ball is weird because like people just won't play tier 0 decks. If like this was like a Yu-Gi-Oh game, like Icarus would have won every single event. Period. Like, it's crazy.
It almost did.
Yeah, it almost did. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe.
Like, Mecha Frieza didn't warp anything. Mecha Frieza just.
It was another tier 1 deck. Yeah.
It was just another tier 1 deck. Zamasu changed the game. And that was huge. That's why I picked Zamasu as the best card.
And also, to be fair, Zamasu was legal for like 2 weeks with full power Mecha Frieza. Like, this shit was legal for 2 weeks. That deck was absolutely insane. So like, that was even better than Icarus. They just banned the frickin' leader. And so like,
I agree with you. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then POSS, it's a broken card.
That's next on the chopping
Absolutely
block.
getting banned. It's getting banned in March. Absolutely.
No, they won't touch it.
I hope they don't, but whatever.
They might limit it.
That's
fine. It's fair and balanced, just like Galactic Buster.
Yeah.
Same. I'd rather cards get banned. I think limiting is a bad idea, but whatever.
Yeah.
Depends on what Bandai likes to errata the cards that I play with, and I did use Power of a Super Saiyan at Nationals. Bandai, just saying. But, if you want to do to that what you did to Caplow and Galactic Buster, you do your thing, okay?
I'm never going to financially recover from
return for this.
Yeah.
That would totally change the card.
Man.
No, it already has limit 1.
I know.
Yeah, it does.
That was the joke.
Oh, my bad.
All right.
I'm stupid.
So,
my bad.
It's okay.
All right, now then we have the best deck in 2021, and this is hilarious. We have an errata deck.
I love how this is just mecha format in one in one slide. This is mecha format in one slide.
We have a set 11. So a set 11 leader, which is completely fine for this. This is not what was released. This is just the best deck. We have an errata deck that was errated twice. We have a banned deck. We have a deck that lost 3 drums. And we have an FTK that got errated and actually got all of aggro kind of banned.
Yeah, it really did. That shit was crazy.
So you want to talk about power players in 2021. This really does sum up the power players of 2021.
This was my favorite format to play in, though, because like all these decks.
This is a horrible format.
No, all these decks had pretty equal ground with each other. Like,
yeah, they really
did. Dude on the right's an FTK.
No, like right before my favorite format was the one before. What was this? What was King Vegeta? 13, right?
No, FTK King Vegeta only became viable because all the other decks got hit, though.
Well, no. I'm just saying, right before Set 13 got released. So Set 12 format was like probably my favorite format in the game's history.
Yeah. Yep, I agree. The format that was just these 4 decks, where every top 8 was like a combination of these 4 decks, and then a couple randos strikers. Yeah.
There was some blue babies and some invokers sliding in there, and some Saiyans, but like right before Set 13, like that was like my favorite format of all time. Same. Set 12, yeah. I don't know, man. There's like a good point for any of the. I would actually say King Piccolo is like the weakest deck out of these 4.
But it dummied Dark Broly, which is
it beat the shit out of Dark Broly.
And it could beat Mecha Frieza too if you saw drums in the right combination.
Yeah, no, it could absolutely. But I mean, like, being Mecha was an absolute fucking menace to play against. Like I said, those 2 weeks where that Zamasu shit was like the deck, it was like, I'm telling you, bro, this shit was not okay. Like, I don't know how else to put it. Like,
the mirror definitely wasn't fun.
No, the mirror was horrible. But like Mecha just in those 2 weeks, bro, like no deck could beat Mecha. It was insane. And what's even more funny is like there were just no tournaments for those 2 weeks for some reason. So like that exact deck like just never got any shine because like Like just for some reason, those 2 weeks just didn't have any tournaments. It was so funny. Like
to be fair, Blue Yellow Mecha was already one of the best decks in the game,
and then it
this
got
was
Zamatsu,
just a better version. Yeah, it was just a better version.
Yeah,
of Blue
exactly.
Yellow.
Yeah.
I agree. It would have pushed
those tournaments, and Mecha didn't. There was
what
like
happened?
there was only like 1 or 2 tops of Mecha in those, and it was like flooded with King Vegeta.
King Vegeta FTK was obnoxious. What was it? Dark Broly, Mecha, and King Vegeta all died to the E-ban list, right?
Yeah, but the full power Mecha Frieza deck was only viable for 2 weeks before set 13 came out.
Yeah, it was between
but it didn't
between
even win
ban lists.
either of those tournaments, I don't think.
Because U9 got banned. So I'm saying full power Mecha with everything was only a deck for 2 weeks. There were no tournaments during those 2 weeks.
There's one.
What, an IRL regional?
Yeah, his locals, Giancarlo. Okay, regardless, these are the best decks. It's like we all agree. There's no hidden best deck that we would slip in there.
Yeah.
Danny got second or third with Bean Mecha. You're right. There was one. He got.
I will say,
he got top 4.
Won with it. Like there was 1 or 2 tops, but nobody actually won. It was King Vegeta that was winning.
I don't think King Vegeta. I don't think set 13 was not out. The deck was not out. I'm talking full power Bean Mecha was before set 13 came out at all, because set 13 ban list is what banned U9, and then like a month later they unbanned U9 and banned Mecha.
Maybe was set 14.
Was that set 14? Okay, I don't whatever.
I would have said Giancarlo's Vegex list was really broken too. I just couldn't remember if that was in 2021.
I fucking love
I
that
bought
deck.
I bought the cards for that, and then like in true fashion, Giancarlo's like, yo, you got to play this deck, and then I build it or buy it or whatever, and then in 2 weeks it gets banned instantly. Like every time.
Literally every deck every single fucking deck I played this year got hit. Granted. Yeah. That's probably the case for most people, because like every deck just got hit this year, but like every single deck I fucking played got hit. And now I'm just looking at Icarus like, all right, buddy, it's been fun, but like it was nice while it lasted. Like,
yeah, he's gonna turn into that. He's gonna turn into that Icarus boss card nobody uses, where it's the GT Goku dead on the Shenron.
Yeah.
Guys, look. Icarus won U.S. Nationals. And it won Worlds. Icarus has flown too close to the sun.
It has,
and we all know the tale of what happened.
Time for the wings of wax to melt. Yeah,
sick reference. That's sick reference, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, you're obviously well read and well studied. You should take notes.
All right, so best
Giancarlo can't even spell that word that starts with a C. Like
contrarian. I can absolutely spell contrarian. You're a piece of shit.
I don't want you to.
Let's do it right now.
I want you to try. Don't embarrass yourself. All right, what's the next slide?
I just wanted, Jay, do you have anything to say?
No, nobody cares.
Nope, nobody cares.
Armando's drunk. Fuck this guy.
Nah.
One White Claw, man.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep, now he's drunk.
No,
it only takes him 1 beer to get there.
Yeah.
Okay. Is this the last slide?
Is that it?
No. I was waiting to see if Jay had anything he wanted to say.
No, you guys nailed it. Good job, team.
I was trying to be, helpful and give everybody a chance to talk. Armando's over here like, nah, he's done.
Yep.
No, he speaks for me.
Yeah.
Jay's here to be the pretty one.
Yeah.
And he succeeds in spades at that. So
good job, Jay. He is the pretty one. He is the pretty one.
Tall, handsome.
Guys.
Now we're looking at the best and worst ban list hits in 2021. The rules for this were very simple. What single hit on a ban list, be it a ban, a limit, an unlimit, or an errata, whatever happened to it, what was the best thing that Bandai did, the best single decision, and what was the worst or dumbest single decision that Bandai made?
Before we talk, did Giancarlo pick Cat Blow, and is it because he plays against you all the time?
No, Jay picked Cat Blow.
What a guy.
I think that Nick also picked Cat Blow.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, I've only ever lost to it once ever. But it's just, I don't know. I hate combo crap like that. I just think it's stupid.
Haters. You're just haters, okay?
Hey, man, you've called me a crayon eater, so you can pound sand.
Yeah,
I've seen you eat crayons, so, like...
I've also watched him play Cell.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, the best ban list hit. A lot of us agreed it was Mecha Frieza. That crud needed to go. I am actually partial to the Young Invader errata. Killing that deck was fantastic.
The reason it's not the best is
the whole
it was
KO.
too hard. It was too hard.
No, it
They
wasn't
should-
too hard. It
Yeah,
literally
they should. No, it was too hard.
that
They
was one of the
shouldn't have-
worst design decks they've ever released, and the only way to balance it was to do what they did. Like the deck.
It made an FPK.
They could have destroyed the field or the cards.
You
They
literally
destroyed both.
just explained how fucking broken the switching gears Vegeta was. Like, that is one of the most horribly designed fucking decks that we've ever had. Like, nothing worked the way it was supposed to. Nothing worked the way they intended it to. Like, the cards just had these stupid loopholes. Like, it was a horribly designed deck, and they literally should have just booted it the fuck out of the game, which is exactly what they did.
Yep, it's gone. Bye-bye.
I don't disagree, but I also agree with Armando that, like, hit the field or hit the battle cards. You didn't need to hit both. It was going to die either way for the most part.
Bardock died for the friggin' Vegeta's sins.
That card was, again, horribly designed.
Bardock was horribly
It was.
designed.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because Poutine's like high class fare.
It does.
Too.
I have gone over this a million times. Our game is inherently aggressive because there's no summoning sickness, so our defensive cards inherently have to be better than our offensive cards, okay? You could ban Poutine. Honestly, I don't give a shit. Ban Poutine. I really don't fucking care. But it's like, our defensive cards just inherently have to be better in order for everyone not to just play aggro. So it's like, our game is inherently aggressive. Our defensive cards need to be better.
Yep.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
No, that's it. I think everybody agrees that 2 of the 3 of these cards on here should have been hit.
No, all 3.
No, definitely Caplo didn't get what it did. If they hadn't hit Caplo, Invoker would be so good in the slow.
Caplo should have been just limited to once per deck instead of removing the limit one though.
No.
Like,
That
if you want to work to loop it and you can figure it out, do the math. Good job. You deserve to earn
Bro, literally one Caplo minimum is 3 damage.
5 damage. It's 5 normally. You're right.
No, minimum it's 3.
Minimum.
So
congrats,
it's like,
you got finesse,
bro. In a game where you are required to go to 4 life, having one card that deals 3 of that life for free is ridiculous.
I agree with Armando. Armando is having a beautiful. Armando, you're so good at this game. I think
Armando's got a second dad.
Armando is the best friend.
Catastrophic blow to 1 and removes the errata from it. I agree, 100%. It's too strong at 4. You're right. It's too strong at 4.
Like I said, if my opponent sees it and the cards to loop it, I'm like, all right, whatever.
It's 2 cards in a deck that searches them. What are you talking about?
There's a Frieza that sends it from your deck to your drop area, right?
Yeah.
For 0 energy.
Jackie Chun not enough for you?
Yeah, sure. Hey, I almost won that match.
You did not almost win anything. You were nowhere near almost winning. You're like, I'm going to use this secret rare, and when I draw it, I'm going to win this game, until I reminded you that it was an 8-drop.
Yeah, you're like, oh, its skills are negated. I was like, damn, that sucks.
All right.
Hey, what's the next slide?
The next slide is the worst/dumbest ban list hits. I agree with you on this one, Armando. Bardock the Resolute, specifically going to 1, was the dumbest thing I have seen in a long time, other than this Beerus. Why did we limit a card that people only played 1 of to 1?
Yeah.
Why did we do that, Bandai? Why did we think that? Why? That's like putting Secret Identity or Fighting Against Fate to 1.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Why not? You know what? Let's limit Apex of Power to 1.
Might as well.
Limit Pan to 1. Like,
I agree.
What are we doing?
That was my reasoning for Bardock the Resolute. Is first limiting it to 1 made no sense because everybody only ran 1 copy. But then I do think banning it was unnecessary because they already.
No, you're wrong. You're on cocaine again. I disagree with Armando again.
That was the best ban list.
Cocaine wouldn't make my takes bad, by the way.
All
It
of
has to be
these-
cracker.
All of
cracker
these
like
cards
that.
that aren't drum that got hit on that giant ban list that killed aggro decks, that was the best ban list we've ever had in this game.
Yeah, I know. I
And
loved it.
Again, it's funny. Me and Sublet had this exact same issue when we did PPG team talks. It's like me and Sublet are like these controlled defensive players, and then we just argue with the aggro players. So it's like, it's just a difference of like
Right.
how we
Do
like
you want
playing
me-
the game.
Do you want me to cut you guys off more? Is that the?
Right. No,
will that get you back into the?
yeah.
Will that get you back into the good headspace if you can't
Yeah,
finish the,
but it's like
can't finish a sentence?
it's just like all of these cards that died on the same list for the aggro decks. It's just like, yeah, good. Fuck all these cards. Fuck aggro decks. The one that I don't like is Drum. Obviously, I'm biased. Love King Piccolo. I wish Drum either had unique or it was at 2 at least. Like Drum is not a card that deserves to be at 1. So it's like it's really silly to put it at 1. We need like semi-limits would be so good for this game. I really hope we get a large semi-limited list coming up here in March, because like otherwise we're gonna be stuck in this same format. Like, you know what I mean? It's gonna be really tough. But like Drum could easily go to 2 or be at 4 with unique. Like that, there were better ways to deal with it than limiting it to 1.
Yeah, Chesco. The a limit 2 list would be the cream dream. Like that is
it really would be. Yeah.
Or they could just print King Piccolo essentially a vanilla 15k to replace the Drum.
Yeah. It could have no effect other than summoning itself, and that would be good enough for the deck to continue to be even like it's borderline playable now, but it's like it would be like probably just better than, you know.
And I never understood the Janemba hit because Blue Aggro died with Galactic Buster. Like, to me, it was...
this deck was a thing before G Buster was a thing. The yeah, I don't know. It got like
but the
Frisco
soul,
played it a lot.
Yeah, it was bad though. Like,
I don't think it was
It
bad.
was really bad.
He got like second. No, he got like second place at a regional, and like the deck was not bad. It just wasn't like it wasn't. I don't think it was tier 1. It just wasn't bad.
yeah, Nick played a version for a while.
You gotta remember their headspace with that list was to hit the free play cards, and that is a lot of damage represented by a free play.
Yeah.
So
I like Janemba though. He's a cool ass character, and that card's
a lot of the engine just wasn't honestly like super fantastic, and it could be dealt with pretty easily. It's like, I don't know. Yeah, you could high roll for a top and a dust.
No, but no, it's not a high roll. The deck was actually good. You play Gogeta Unison, which represents 2 damage. You don't play Janemba cards outside of this. This like
Soul Striker?
Yeah, the Soul Striker. Gogeta Unison represents 2 20k attack. Yeah, 2 20k attacks, then a 20k vanilla attack, then this Janemba attack, all for the cost of your Unison, which you're gonna play anyway. Like the deck was pretty strong. Like it wasn't like an insane tier 1 deck. It was a good deck though.
I mean, sure, it's a good deck, but at the same time, Galactic Buster died, and that
this
card
was
never
before
saw relevance.
This was before G Buster was out.
Right, and there was nothing blue doing anything aside from Baby or from Baby. Yeah. Aside from that, there was no deck doing anything that was blue. Like Soul Striker was irrelevant for the most part.
I would never have once been like, oh damn, I'm playing against Aggro Soul Striker.
Right. That's my thought as well.
It was like fun. It was fun to play with, but
it wasn't a bad deck, but it also wasn't meta
my list
relevant.
was also bad. It was never intended to be like competitive in any way, shape, or form.
I don't think it was I do not think it was a tier 1 deck, but it was a very solid tier 2 deck.
That's fair.
Yep.
Yeah.
That deck was not the reason that Janemba got
No, Janemba got hit as a consequence. It got hit as a consequence. I'm just like
yeah.
They just said stay in your lane. That was
Janemba got hit as but it was a great list. Good. Fuck all these aggro cards. Good. Fuck them.
I know, right?
Godly Majesty was hilarious, though. That was just
that was wild. That was like kick the one color that's already down.
Yeah,
and it's just a 15k meter. It wasn't even like it's not like it had like deflect replace itself.
Yeah, it's because people kept discarding. They would play Bardock, right? Bardock something or other, the Overrealm, and then they would discard this. And Bandai was like, "Oh, that's fucking broken. Like we can't have that."
It's not that broken.
Was it Bandai that thought that was broken, or was it a certain player who might have thought that was broken?
I don't know.
Either way,
maybe in Bandai's ear. And
it was a cute
I don't know. I'm not. Not naming any names or anything.
It was the green
know
beers.
who you are.
That was the one that was used in Turles, though. It was pitched off the raisin or
Yeah.
That
Like-
got banned, and my all foil Turles deck was never played again.
exactly. Like that literally was, and it was just a free play deck. So
Well,
I mean, if it,
really-
it fits the theme of that ban list.
If there was any
Yeah.
deck that like caused this to be banned, it would have been Reboot Gohan.
Yeah.
Because this was a turn extension for that deck.
Which is also banned.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's also addressed.
So yeah, again, like if you don't have the Reboot Gohan, then, like this is fine.
Yeah, I agree.
And then we have Young Invaders. Anybody who thinks Young Invaders was hit too hard, you're wrong.
That's it.
Not hard
Forget
enough.
it. Yeah, not hard enough. Yeah, ban it. Let's go.
Yep.
I never want to see.
I
a
would
red
have rather
Vegeta.
they banned it so that way it got reprinted. Maybe a skill that wasn't as bad as its errata.
I wish they would have changed its name. It's a real weird name.
Yep.
Is that it?
That's everything, boys. That is all of it.
That's it. All right.
We did it.
Hell yeah.
Thanks for listening.
Closing-
Carlos gonna do an outro.
Closing. No, anyone have closing thoughts?
Nah, just do an outro, man.
Actually,
Let Jay talk. I want to hear from Jay.
Yeah.
It was fun. Thanks, guys.
It
I
was
enjoyed.
fun, yeah.
I enjoyed talking to y'all, and doing this. You guys are great. I can't believe you guys decided to spend New Year's with me. So
Yep.
appreciate you.
Yep.
Yeah, check out join the Hermit Style Discord if you're not already in there. It's great.
Oh, was
Sub
I
to the
supposed to say
YouTube. Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
I can-
My bad.
I can do a closing thing if you want.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
bud.
go ahead. I love
I'm
listening. to you.
usually not bad at that. So yeah, that sums up everything from DBS 2021. You know, this year it was not bad actually. We had some tier 0-ish decks, and we had some formats that were very aggressive, and we had some formats that were very mid-range and led to draws, and we had some decisions from Bandai that were questionable, but we also had, you know, some of the most amazing game. We had all of these online regionals that were worth playing in because you got things like Robotic Repose, who was worth enough money to incentivize you to play in the regional. And even if you didn't do well, you still had a great time. And we had more players than ever getting invites and feeling like they were, you know, in an upper echelon in the game. And so Bandai's design of tournaments really instilled that confidence in players. And we had a nationals again. You know, we just came out of a god-awful year, and this one was somewhere around adjacent to it. But Bandai didn't skip a beat on that, and they supported this card game very well, and they gave us real prizes, and they gave us real reason to play, and we had a nationals that was actually in person if you were here in the US or in Canada, I suppose, which was a huge step for them because they didn't have to do that. They didn't have to take those risks, but they did for the community, for this game. And we had a Worlds for the first time ever. We actually had a Worlds tournament, which is a big step for any card game. And so this year, it might have had some products like Cross Spirits and Saiyan Showdown, which weren't all that spectacular. And it might have had leaders from 2020 being better than anything printed in this year. But ultimately, this was a great year for Dragon Ball. It really was.
Shout out to the
And-
webcam warriors. This one's for you.
Hell yeah.
This was a great year in Dragon Ball. And, you know, it was okay, I guess, if you got 5th place in all the webcam regionals. But for those of you that did better than Armando, congratulations.
There's a lot of people.
And, you know, this was great. And I
Okay.
Bandai,
Be the
I
most
hope
consistently topping player in 2021, but okay.
the
I'll
most
let it go.
consistently 5th placing player. I think that year was spectacular. And looking forward, you know, there are things that we hope about, but the one thing I think every one of us can agree on is that we're excited for March, and we're excited to play some more Dragon Ball. And yeah, that's great. And we hope that you're excited too. And we hope that this wrap up was fun for you, and that you look forward to seeing it again next year and seeing all the broken stuff that gets banned, that gets released in 2022. Thank you all for watching.
Hell fucking
Well, yeah,
yeah.
well
All right,
said.
boys. All right, goodbye.
Don't my back every day. I got to set this way to try whatever I